Happy Saturday, besties. Hi, good morning. I was watching you all in the chat. Good morning. It is Saturday, September 27th. We are almost at the end of September. How's everybody? Good morning, Terry. Good morning, Jess. Hi, Carly. Kelly, good morning. Good morning, Sue. I have to give a couple of shout outs to Millie Martin. My dad had a friend, his name was Billy Martin, Mr. Martin, I called him, and he passed away. And I was just unable to get to the funeral on Friday, but Billy Martin is a legend, and I talked about him a little bit on my Facebook page, but there's this old school group of men in where I'm from in Fall River, Somerset area. And it's like my dad's generation, right? So it's this old school group of men who would drink and play cards and knew everything and always like went out for lunch in the middle of the day. And like I was a bartender in my early 20s at a private club. It wasn't private. If you're from Fall River, you know, Morning Ben. It's a Belmont Club in Fall River, and it's one of the oldest liquor licenses in the state of Massachusetts after Prohibition. And it's just like, we'll do a whole episode on the Belmont Club. But anyway, this 25 years ago, more than that now, these guys would come in while I was bartending, and nothing like propels you into like life other than, is everything okay? No. Oh, close everything and try it again. I don't know. Then like being a bartender in the middle of the day, not nighttime, not night, day. I highly recommend like go be a bartender in the middle of the day when like all of these like guys come in there and they have all this life experience, and I learned a lot from them, and I played cards with them, and Billy Martin was a really good card player because he never really showed his emotion. My father was the kind of guy like playing poker, he'd like flip the table. I'm like that. But Mr. Martin was different. But anyway, he passed away this week, and then I found out that his family and some of the women in the family, I don't know if they want me to say their names, watch the show. So I'm saying hi to all of the besties from Mr. Martin's crew. Good morning. Hi, Andrea. Here is a nosy Portuguese woman. Wait, I missed that. Oh, shoot. Good morning. Hi, Ashley. Bartending in a men's club. It wasn't a men's club per se, but like I don't think I can watch now that we know the besties can't trust Erin or Jess. Disclaimer, I'm joking. Good morning, Queen. Kyle Sharkey's on here. I still can't figure out if Kyle Sharkey is actually a person or not sure. And we're going to talk about burner counts because that's going to happen. Before we do anything, could we all please share this? And then make sure, because some besties don't know that we're doing it. You should at this point. This is week 8. We've done this for 8 weeks. And then also, I'm still not the best at sharing all of the things. So good morning. He is a person. He sends a lot of docs to me. Okay, but I'm not sure. Good morning. Yeah. Erin's here. We had one unboxing. And Erin brought me another unboxing, and she's like, I told you I bought you this. And I was like, I don't remember what it is. She's saying I don't deserve it. But also Erin outing me and telling everybody that I opened the boxes and peeked in the packages. I'm just going to show you. I got one box this week for unboxing, right? Let me get it for you, and I'm going to show you what happened. I opened it, and there's another box in it. So I didn't open the other box. So it was almost just like, it was like the Lord was telling me like, stop, like knock it off. Right. So then I was like, well, I've just got to seal this up. And I'm like a squirrel running around my house looking for clear tape to seal the box. And I couldn't. And so I sealed it with masking tape, just like so that it wouldn't look like if I held it like this, but then like, so there's another box in here. And I didn't open it, but I really wanted to open it. Proud of you. Erin's so proud of me. And then I get this from Erin. Do we want to start off with show and tell and get that out of the way? There's a couple of things. I have a lot of people asking me questions about this agenda. Let me pull it up because I can't quite see it right now. I know the agenda seems a little strange. We're going to talk about the Mayor Neil burner account. And I understand this is a little niche for some of you because some people might not know or follow it. I'm going to give you a little bit of a background, and then I'm only going to give it to you from my perspective and how this impacts or directly affects me. So we're going to talk about that. And then I know some people had some questions about the word on there that says Hitler diaries. Just trust the process on that. It's actually not about Hitler, but we're going to share some childhood trauma. TT saw it. And she said, do I need to have a full face on tomorrow morning when I'm watching the show in case I need her? We'll see. I also like to tell you all of the Charlie Kirk hoodies have been shipped. And I've started to get people sending me photos of them. And great job for Erin because they are like perfect quality. They're so great. Melanie said, I love the color sweatshirt. Also, this is my sweatshirt I got. The cease and desist I had made just for me after Kathy Carr served me with a cease and desist before my show. I don't know what it is with people. This week was the third time somebody like messaged me and was like, please don't do this on your show. And then so I just get out a piece of paper and a pen and I'm like, we're going to add it to the show now. It's almost like don't say anything at all and maybe I won't do it. But if you ask me not to do it, chances are we're going to ramp it up. Scorched Earth is the name of this episode. Erin's going to share a screen. What's happening? Cheech is here. Good morning, Queen. I should stop using Queen, because what is the matter? What is this? What is it? Don't tell me what to do. Oh, it has my name on it. Don't tell me what to do. Just don't do that. Also, I left the house today with no mascara on, but we have like a comfy cozy. It's fall. It's already starting to feel fall-y. All right, let's get right into show and tell, shall we? Funny ears for show and tell. Okay, good morning. All right, let's do some show and tell. Apparently, Erin has brought show and tell, and I don't know how that's going to go. It looks like it's a surprise. She's smirking. I don't know what's happening. So let's do show and tell. I got a very brief show and tell for you today. Oh, did I send you? Can I send you something really quickly? And can you pull it up? I'm going to send Erin something, and then you'll see because it's going to be a photo. Where would you like me to send it? Text or text? All right. So if I had an earphone, I could just eyedrop it. By the way, you all know I got a new phone, had no pictures on it. It's like a clean slate. I downloaded so many apps. Now it's slow again. And so it doesn't, it's just like the old one. Okay, there's my picture. Okay. So, yeah, so I am a magnet girl. When I grew up, we didn't have anything on our refrigerator. But when I went to my grandma's house, my grandma always had magnets on her fridge. And I'm sure you all, same thing. And I can actually envision some of the magnets my grandmother had on her fridge. There were like plastic fruit and it was like a orange slice. And I remember touching it. It was like plasticky or whatever. Anyway, my refrigerator is full of magnets, many of which document places I've gone or experienced. This is my fridge this morning. I took it. So we have a lot of magnets on here. All of those are different places I've gone, places my children have gone. Some of those are pretty big accomplishments. And so that's what my fridge looks like right now. So I brought a couple of these magnets. Okay. And I'll give you a quick story about all of them. I don't know how or I don't know why, but for the longest time, I've always wanted to go to the Outer Banks. And I didn't know anybody that had ever gone to the Outer Banks. Nobody had ever said, hey, I've been to the Outer Banks. I didn't even see anybody on my Facebook friends list that went to the Outer Banks. And so I believe in 2018, I was working at Bank of America. We had bought our house a couple of years before, and I planned a trip to the Outer Banks. And I pulled it off, and it was amazing. And it ended up becoming a place that we ended up going to several more times. It's unbelievably expensive now, and I don't know why or how or if that's ever going to change, but it is unbelievably expensive. Good morning to who? TT's here. Good morning, TT. TT also has magnets. And so this one is from this lighthouse, which the Bodie Lighthouse, Bodie Island, I always wanted to go. It's this exact thing. And then I went. And so when I look at this, it's a big sense of an accomplishment for me because, you know, I pulled off a really big vacation to a place that I knew nothing about. I did all the research and there was not one problem when we went on this vacation. Not one. It was perfect from start to finish. And I think because of that, I ended up falling in love with the Outer Banks. This is a magnet I got from Faneuil Hall. And this is a magnet that I got many years ago when John McCain was running for president against Obama. He was coming to Boston. And this is really like one of my very first political things. And I was, again, with no influence. I didn't have anybody around me that did these things. But he was coming up to speak in Faneuil Hall. And I took Julia out of school. And I think she was in second or third grade. And I said, we're going to go to Boston for the day. So we drove up, took the T in, figured this all out, and then went to go see John McCain. And while we were in line, a man came over to me and he was like, would you like to meet John McCain? And I was like, yes. And so he took us out, and I didn't have time to pull up the picture, but I took a picture with John McCain, and Julia met him and took a picture, and he was very gracious and kind. And so anyway, afterwards we went for lunch and we got this Faneuil Hall magnet. When I was in 8th grade, went to Catholic school, Holy Name. And on our 8th grade trip, we went to Newport. And like, I understand people who don't live around here, you don't understand what a gem Newport is, but it is like literally my favorite spot. I go there for my birthday every year, but we go there all the time. I've also went through my late teens and early 20s in Newport. So that's a whole other facet to Newport. But one of the things that Newport has that nobody else in the world has is the Newport mansions. And I've been going to them my whole life. I've gone to them by myself and done tours. I've gone with my kids. I've gone with just my husband, and I went on a little mini weekend. Oh, I heard from Evil Steve yesterday. Evil Steve sent me a picture and he said that he helped John Kerry dock his boat down the Cape this weekend. And he sent me a picture of John Kerry on a boat. I'm not showing it. I'm not giving you any clout here on my show, Evil Steve. Focus on your fantasy football. Anyway, so this magnet is from the Breakers. And then the Gilded Age now, which is one of my favorite shows. Now the Gilded Age is like, it's just full circle. So anyway, there's that. This magnet I got from Miami Beach when Erin and I went. I don't know if you've never been to Miami Beach or if you've been South Beach. It is, I don't know how to explain this. You can see something forever and ever and ever, pictures of it and all of those things. But until you actually see it, all of the things that you've seen before resonate or hit in a different way. And South Beach was literally that. The Art Deco, the lights, the streets, everything about it. It just like, it's almost like everything I've seen and watched is now like in color, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? And so this Miami, despite the fact that we got there in a convertible and I was scared with Erin's driving, Miami is one of my. She said my driving is perfect. Well, actually, we just got into a car accident in downtown Boston for 100, Alex. And so that Miami one, and also the magnet is shiny and just like reminds me of it. So this is on my fridge. And this is one of my most prized possessions. When we were little kids, we went to New Hampshire on vacation, and we brought back my grandma a magnet, and it's called Grandmas Are Great. It says on it, and it's just made out of wood. It's actually split. Looking back at this, I can't believe they sold this in a store because this looks like it was like whittled by somebody, and then they just shellacked it. Yeah, but it's from Franconia Notch State Park. This was on my grandmother's refrigerator as a kid, and I scooped it up before she moved there, and now it's on my fridge, and I have it. So Grandmas Are Great. Okay, that was one show and tell. Back when my daughter was in high school in 2018, so her junior year, you get like a trinket for the proms. Everybody gets like a token thing. Look, Erin is just like, oh no. So they get like a trinket, right? Well, my daughter's school gave out champagne flutes, okay? And I had a problem with this because champagne flutes are alcohol. And I had a problem with this. And I said, of all the things you could give, why would you give them a champagne flute? And so this represents me becoming a real menace in the town of Somerset because this sparked a debate in our community and people were not happy with me because they said I was being a Grinch or whatever and blah, 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 blah. And I still don't think that you should be promoting alcohol use with a trinket for a prom. Don't drink and drive. Like, I mean, there's so many things with alcohol and proms. This is just a miss. And I still stand by that. And I keep this in my room. I took I took it. Julia was like, I can't even look at that. It was such a she was embarrassed. I just don't we can do better. Like, what else could there be? I mean, I don't know what the suggestions are, but like, why are we like, what are you gonna put in this? Apple juice? Magnets? Magnets. Erin saying you should give it out at the reunion. Something. This just didn't make sense to me. And I was always worried that my kids were going to be around people that were drinking. I know my kids weren't drinking, but like, why are we doing this? So this is my other show and tell item. Picture frame. Great idea. Connie's in the chat. Connie's PTO president at the middle school or she's something. Connie is like the PTO everything. Thank God. Don't let it happen, Connie. Candle holder. Somebody said because we're drunk. Yeah, it's just like so. Coffee cup for sobriety, sobering up, not a champagne flute, right? I don't know. No, 2019 would have been the next one, and then they had. I don't know. Good question, Joanne. Good morning, Ms. Holmes. All right, last item for show and tell. When Julia was little, 3, her and we bought a business, Sweets Cafe, and we needed to put her in preschool. And Georgia was always like very advanced. First kids usually are, right? And very advanced and could speak. Oh, I said Georgia? Julia. Julie was very advanced and we needed to get her into school because we bought a restaurant and I was going to be working at the restaurant. And so we put her in a little Catholic school preschool. And this school had a big fundraiser and it was the first one of the fall. And so Ron and I show up and we go to this spaghetti dinner fundraiser thing and they're auctioning off some items. And one of the items that they had was a fur coat, stole. And I was like, I want that. I want that. And so Ron got into a bidding war with someone over the fur coat. And it was a person I didn't like from the community. And so I basically let Ron know that. And I was like, I would like that. And don't let them get that. It was like, I want it because I will wear it all the time, but also don't let them get that. And so Ron came through and he got me the fur. It's a vintage fur, so don't come at me for killing animals. But so this is my fur and I absolutely love it. And I wear it all the time. And I lent it to Titi, I think, for a while. And then Titi had it and my daughter has worn it. And I just love it. It's my favorite. It has slits here. So listen, you can't really tell. There's arms, okay? But then there's these slits. They're for driving or holding your drinks. So look, this is covered, but like, right? And then because TT did have it for years, and then because I'm such a savage, there was another fur and it was a stole. And this one just went on your shoulders and then it like folded into it. And I got that one too. Good morning. Meow. Meow. So that's my show and tell for today. All those things have little stories attached. Magnets. Don't send me magnets. And I'm going to tell you right now because it has to have meaning. It has to have something. You going somewhere and sending me a magnet, it doesn't hit the same way. It has to be something we experienced. It has to be an accomplishment. It has to have a memory attached. It can't be fake. TT gives me magnets when she goes, and that's because we're twins and I'll allow it, but other ones, no. Anyway. This is just my life. This is what I am. All right. How are we feeling? Let's do some comments. Lauren has a first stole. All right. That's show and tell. Lisa's saying my mind is blown from all the drama last night and I only have YouTube. I don't know what happened last night. I have absolutely no idea. If something happened between yesterday and today, give me a little mini synopsis of it because I have no idea. That's so fancy. All right. Are we good? Are you going to do show and tell?
I have one thing. I brought a random thing.
Okay, let's go.
I'm not ready to be.
I'm going to mute myself.
I can't do anything. I can't do it on. There's no fixing.
Fix your hair while you're already on. You do it after.
Good morning, friends. Can everybody hear me? Somebody asked what the hoodie was. This is what is this? This is the sorry, I can't do that. I can't do this. Barstool. This was what Barstool the same time the Eras tour was going on. So that's like the little news box that he thing there. But anyway, that's the hoodie somebody asked. So this, I feel like you would appreciate this. Can everybody see? Long story short, do you remember the movie Benji? Because I know we're all old here. Benji, when we were little. So when I was little, this is my Benji. Went down to my oldest, Isabella had it, and then like Carlo. So it was just always like around the house. I got a kitten a few months ago, so I shut my basement door, so she couldn't get like in the walls and all that other baloney. So this past week we've been like opening the door and bringing her downstairs. So I was like walking around with her, and then I passed this on the floor, and I was like, "Oh, Benji would make a great show." So that's the show. Well, he was like, he's not like just like that. So he was down there. So I was like, "Oh, that's going to be show and tell." I did have one more thing. It's not show and tell, but I did bring it here to do things with. But I'll show you since we're doing show and tell. I brought some sage. It was the kitten. Listen, I told Jessica like 2 weeks ago that that was gonna be my show and tell one day. I was just gonna bring the cat and just do this with the cat. And that was gonna be my show and tell. But I brought some sage for the world. I'm sorry, it's because I'm not very close to it because I can't live this life. It's very weird for me. So I'm okay. That's that. I have one extra thing, but I'm not bringing it out now because it needs context. So that's it. Be quick. Can I say that?
We will need the sage after the next segment. Can I feel it?
Yeah. It's all washed. It's all beat up from the drop. Like, look at this booty. All the fluff is like in booty.
We have a lot of old things in the studio right now. For a new studio, we have a lot of old things.
This guy's like 40 years old.
Well, that's what Titi said. The magnet's like 40. Mm-hmm. All right. Thanks for participating in show and tell. We're not going to wear the bunny ears or the fur for the next segment.
Okay, taking myself off. Bye, guys.
Want to get down to business? TB show is still up from last. Did Aiden do a show last night? You know what? It's probably for the best that I didn't. It's probably for the best that I didn't watch it. I didn't know it because, oh God, I don't know who Joe Flipperhead is. I have no idea.
I do this. Can you hear me? Does that work? You know what I mean? Because then I don't have to like put myself on and off every time. If I just stay small.
The issue is that nobody could hear you. It's like you're too low. You've got to have the mic. All right. I know. I don't know who Joe Flipperhead is. So I just want to like let's do this, okay? Okay. I'm staying out of it. I don't know. It's enough for me to talk about my situation. Let's talk about this. And I'm going to tell you that I've talked about this. I've thought about this for several days. I've thought about what to say, how to say it. I was trying to frame it in ways that would make everybody comfortable. I was trying to say like this, I'm over, and we're just going to go with being authentic because I think that's the issue here. So last week on this show, I got a phone call from Aiden, and I texted him and I said, I can't pick up. I'm doing a show. And if you remember, he jumped in the chat and he was like, it was me that called. So right after the show, I called Aiden, and he disclosed to me that the Mayor Neil troll Twitter account was actually Tina. And I honestly could not really even process what he was saying. I was here in the studio with Erin, and I talked to him very briefly. He gave me what I believed was enough information to know that this was 100% true. So I didn't doubt what he was telling me, but the only way I can explain it is that my mind did not compute what he was saying. Like, there were more things in my head making me think that that's impossible than the facts that I was hearing that it was accurate. Okay. And so I'm if you're part of the Free Karen Reed movement, if you're a turtle rider, you know about this account. This is an account that for the better part of a year has been, and by the way, I didn't really know the extent, because I'm going to explain this in the best way possible so that nobody gets upset or anything like that. I don't follow this shit. I don't follow troll accounts because honestly, it messes up my algorithm. I want my algorithm to be pure. Like, I don't want any drama. I want it to also like hit the things that I need, which is like, anti-woo coalition, which has changed its name, rest in peace. I need it to, for my work, I need my algorithm to be like pure of drama. So I don't follow troll accounts. I barely follow anybody. I think I follow 1,000 people. I've got to keep it that way because I don't have time to sit on my phone and scroll through. I need it to look just right or whatever. So I don't follow the troll accounts. Chances are I don't see any of the drama unless I'm going to explain it. I'm going to explain it. Trust me. So let's do this. So I don't follow the troll accounts. The only time I would ever see is if somebody I do follow shares it or is talking about it. And if I happen to catch a live or something and there's some drama, this is why I didn't know who like some of these characters are or whatever. This account in particular, though, I did know and notice some things. If you had to ask me, describe the Mayor Neil account, I was like, that account attacks Meredith O'Neill, Aiden's girlfriend at the time. And so it was on my radar moderately. So there's that. So when Aiden calls and he tells me this is the person behind this account, again, gave me what I thought was pretty ironclad proof that it was the person. And I was like, okay, so let's get into who Tina and Courtney are. So I met Tina and Courtney through the Free Karen Reed situation. And I actually dug out my last two phones because, I don't retain my phone stuff. I start over. I dug out my last two phones and I went back to find my text messages between Tina and between Courtney. So I could kind of like, I don't know, refresh my memory about how we connected or where we started. And what I knew to be true is that Aiden had a legal team and Courtney was a part of that legal team. And Tina was also occasionally a part of that legal team. Tina and Courtney, to me, were almost the same person. Tina and Courtney, I talked to them together all the time. So individually, I sparingly spoke with them. Tina more than Courtney. And I'm just going to be flat out honest. If I needed a court document that I couldn't go to a courthouse and get, Tina had access to court documents. And so she would be that person. So I'm just trying to think. Ronald Joseph, the migrant that raped his daughter, I would ask Tina, can you get me the latest updated court documents? And she would get them to me. She was very valuable in the work that I was doing. And I also felt that she genuinely wanted to help me. And it was, we're not best friends. We never, and I'll get to when we saw each other outside of texting or from court or whatever, but it was just, I would say it was just a friendship rooted in trust. I trusted Tina because she was friends with Courtney, and Courtney was part of Aiden's legal team. And so this year, round 2 of the Karen Reed trial, I think that is when we started a group text with Tina and Courtney and myself. And I would speak with them much more frequently. And I am looking back and I recognize that the majority of those conversations were rooted in Aiden. And I'm going to get to that in a minute, but a lot of those conversations were provoked, like started by asking me questions about Aiden. And so I recognize that earlier this year, my professional relationship with Aiden and seeing him at Karen Reed and kind of us like, reconnecting after he wrote those stories about me, that was kind of like how we started, but we became much more friendly this time around. And by friendly also, I have never hung out with Aiden until recently anywhere. Like he hasn't met my husband, I haven't met his kids. Like we're not that kind of friends. However, I do speak with Aiden, and that's not something I need to broadcast or share, and I never have because I don't need to do that. And there is like an underlying theme here of bitches that like to say that they are on the in, and it's weird. It's just weird. My friendship with Aiden is important to me because it's about me forgiving. It's about me looking past something and looking at the bigger picture. And this is all rooted in like him. I said rooted 3 times already in him writing a story about me. Right. So, and understanding like why he did it and what his style was back then. And also I don't know anybody else that does what we do, which is says the truth and doesn't care about the consequence, because the truth and these stories I write about are far more important than what could possibly happen. I don't think that far down the road when I'm writing a story about Maura Healey. Like I'm thinking like you all need to know that. And so I don't know anybody else that does that. I mean, there are people that talk and there are people, but we write it and we give it to you. And so I have like a camaraderie with him that is unmatched. And so my friendship with him is very important also to me because I feel less alone. I feel like I'm not the only one. He ran so I could walk. Is that like the thing? Like he did it first, so he walked so I could run. Whatever it is, like he blazed the path so that I have ease of access to doing what I do. I'm not going to pretend there's no depth to this. There is depth to this. My friendship with him is very important. I also have learned and have felt that he does not have people that truly fucking care about his best interests. It is colluded with how they feel, what they want, what they need. And so I have felt like kind of like maternal in a way to kind of look out for him or whatever. And hence me kind of going after Jen Altman a couple of weeks. And I never ended up talking about it, but we'll get to that. So in the realm of the thousands and thousands of people that are around Aiden, the 2 people that I trusted the most, that I thought cared for him the most, were Courtney and Tina. These are women when speaking with them, alluded to in the beginning how close they were to him. They seemed entrenched in his legal cases. Courtney is associated directly with his case, but Tina also was as well. Tina was at court cases. She was at the table at a court case. She's gone to meetings. And there certainly was never a time where I felt like Tina didn't know what was going on. Like they both knew all of things. And so to me, I only felt that they were the ones that cared about him. And also they often said nobody cared about him, and they did. And so that's the background on this. So I had a mild friendship with them. I talked to them frequently. I would say in text messages almost every day. A lot of times it was just about like court cases and things like that or whatever, but I'm going to get to there being some other things. So I'm just going to let you know these are people that I trust. Now, I trust. trusted. At times, did I think that it was only because I was closer to him that they started to talk to me more about Aiden things? Yes. Fleeting moments of weird feelings there, okay? But again, I still liked them and I still thought they were nice and I still thought that they were good friends to me. Now, if some of you remember last year, I had, and not last year, but perpetually, I've had an issue with a former elected official in Somerset. Her name's Holly McNamara. And she tried to get a restraining order on me right during the Karen Reed trial last year, or at the end or after it. And she failed miserably. And we should play that, actually, that court recording, because I achieved legendary status in the Fall River District Courthouse for that. We had people coming in from outside the courtroom to stand and listen because they were like, this girl, the judge thought I was an attorney. It was that good. Like, we will definitely play it. Oh God, I wish I could go back. It was really, really good. Anyway, I'll make a mental note, besties. So we'll play it. So anyway, the restraining order was denied. But what I chose to do was I tried to move forward with getting her criminally charged with harassment. And I ended up being given a magistrate hearing for that. And I had been talking closely with Tina and Courtney about that and getting myself ready, because these are girls that know all the legal thingies, right? And so I would show like my evidence binder and all of the things. And I learned from Alan Jackson and David Yannetti, like, don't be a lally. Like, I had things in binders with, like, everything was just perfect. And Tina offered to come with me to my magistrate hearing. And I was very much like taken aback by that. And I was very thankful that she came. Now, did I need somebody there with me? I think you can figure out that I don't need anybody to get through this life. Like, I can do it. But it was very comforting that someone with legal background wanted to come. And so she drove down. She took the day out of work. She came to the hearing. She was in the room with me. Lauren was there. That's right. And so Tina came, and then we had lunch. And it was really, really nice. And I was very, very thankful for her for being there. Everything was totally fine. If you asked me to write a list of people that were behind the Mayor Neal account, I wouldn't have Tina on my short list. I wouldn't have her on my long list. And like I said on my spaces, I would have bet all the equity in my house that she was not it. That is how this is just absolutely wild. So after Aiden tells me that it's her, I start going back to look for the account. The account is there. I'm scrolling back and looking, but by the next day it's gone. Aiden ended up sending me a document with all of the screenshots. And I believe Meredith had been taking screenshots. And I spent some time looking at these screenshots. And first of all, Meredith has absolutely every right to be psychotic about this. This account was beyond relentless, beyond attacking her physical looks, making fun of her, talking about her weight. It's just too much. And I'm sure I know she has shared some of those things. It is what it is. But I don't think I know I didn't know how bad it was because I wasn't looking, right? And so after looking at that, I was like, Jesus Christ, right? And then also there were attacks on Aiden. And this is the key, because again, Aiden is my friend. And one of the ones that stood out to me was saying that he was a bad dad. And I don't think Aiden's a bad dad. I actually think he's an incredible dad. And so that stuff was really just like, yikes, you know? And so I reached out to Tina, and I was like, what's going on? I sent a picture of a screenshot, and she basically dejected it and was like, just ignore that or whatever. And then I spoke with Courtney, and there was never a doubt in any part of this whole process that it was Tina. Like, that was understood. Tina has admitted it to me. Courtney has admitted it to me. It's Tina. And we know it's Tina. So I don't know what the evidence is out there that people have or have not seen. I'm just telling you, I know it was her. My brain does not compute that somebody that was talking, working, supporting, claiming to support Aiden was the account that was saying bad things about him. And so I have a problem with it. I also have a problem with burner accounts. And we're not going to get into it today, but I was harassed by a burner account. What, you have a phone? Oh my God. Erin had, okay. We'll talk about, maybe we'll do that. Like, I have a real problem with it. So I don't have a burner account. I've never made a burner account. I don't use them. I think you're crazy for using them because, case in point, you will get caught. And then you have to deal with the ramifications of who you are and then the words that you said and people being shocked, astounded, betrayed, lied to. You're crazy. Like, never out of your own mouth. And if you can't say it out of your own mouth, then don't say it at all. You know what I mean? And we're going to have to talk about some things that I said, because in the confidence of group chats with Tina and Courtney, I have said some things about some people, not publicly, but I can't trust that they're not going to share that. I can't trust that they're not going to share it with people. So we're going to get ahead of it. And Tina texted me last night, and I know she's watching, and she wanted me to not talk about this. And case in point about, like, don't tell me what to do. But like, that's not my problem that you don't want people to talk about what you did. I don't really care. I care because after court and Aiden's hearing the other day, I went out for lunch with him and Will and Lauren. Happy birthday, Lauren. And I looked at Aiden and I had to look at him. We have a screen here and we all have our phones and like you all have a life here. But like, when you're face to face with a person, I had to look at him and I was like, do you believe that I did not know about this account? And he was like, I 100% believe that you don't. But in the back of my mind, I was wondering, does he? How I talk to them all the time. There's a picture of me and Courtney and Tina at the Wilbur. We sat together with Tim. I took a picture with them. It's around, it's out there. So I had to look at him and I'm be like, I just want to let you know, like, I did not fucking know. I did not know at all. At all. Looking back and going through all my text messages, were some of the things that were being said in our group chat actually said with the account? Yes, but I wasn't watching the account. So nothing, if I was watching that account, I probably would have been like, huh, you know what I mean? But like, I wasn't, so I didn't know. Is everybody following me so far? Okay. And so, yeah. Okay. So now, I have no, let me cancel another thing. Now there's a couple of burner accounts that are saying Tina was a mod. Yep, she's a mod. Now, just so you know, the mod thing, I don't know if that's a big deal in this YouTube community world. I take it that it is, right? Like, it's a big deal if you're a mod, that shows trust or whatever. I still don't really understand how important those things are. I'm just telling you, she asked to be a mod and I said, "Oh, I was thinking about asking you." I added her. If Erin knew how to take her out, because I guess she doesn't, and we can probably, sure, the besties will help. It is a big deal in the YouTube world. Thank you. So this account is tagging me, and there's two different accounts. She's a mod and Justice thing. And then I guess because people just see that she's a mod, that means trust and friendship or whatever. And I was like, okay, I said to Erin, I was like, she's got to come out. Erin tells me I'm going to take her out live on the show. I'm going to do like I'm going to take her off, remove the wrench live on the show. And then she sent a meme and it was like, give the Lannisters send their regards, of which I knew nothing of what it meant. It's from Game of Thrones. And that was what Erin wanted to do. So we need to get her off so she can access my YouTube stuff. I need mods, Auntie Deb. If you've watched the show, I don't know. So I'm not like, everything here I'm telling you is the truth. We're going to figure it out. She's not going to be there. Erin said we're going to the wild, wild west where there will be no mods. Martial law. Yeah. So now follow me on this. So now this week, the conversation between me and Courtney and Tina is about this. And Courtney is insisting that she knew nothing about it. Courtney and I had a conversation, and she asked if I believed her, and I told her I didn't. I said, I don't believe that you didn't know. To me, the two of you are interchangeable. To me, the both of you are friends. You speak all the time. There's a history there with them. They've started on this case together with Aiden. They've been on this path together. The unmodding. So I told Courtney I did not believe her. I don't have any proof that Courtney knew, but I also don't have any proof that Tina was the account either, because I knew nothing. So do I think that Courtney knew? If you're asking me now, yes, I think Courtney knew. That's it. I just think Courtney knew. I have no proof of that. I don't know what to say about it, but whatever. Because I was in a space with two women who I thought that I could trust, I don't trust them anymore, and I'm very worried about that. So I'm going to come clean right now about the things that I said. And I'm actually probably, Erin's getting the sage. I'm probably thinking these things are far worse than what they really are. I've gone through my text messages. I've looked at it. Yeah. So you love what? Take us to Unmod Town. All right. So what's the question? Why did they do this? Great question. I have absolutely no idea. Well, I mean, I could read you what Tina's excuses are if you want to know, because she's texting me last night asking me not to do this. And it was the first time I actually was able. Let's do that. Let's do it. Erin just went, yay. You want it? We'll read them. I'm not going to share them, but I'll read them. Erin said if she had her way, we'd be doing this. You want me to read them? So she's saying about me talking about it today impacts Courtney and Tim and the legal defense team. And that is certainly a part of this. But I'm going to be honest with you. Tim is too busy, in my opinion, to like deal with the drama. And I think we would be more worried if we had an attorney that did. Like if we had an attorney that was all on the screenshots and all in the things or whatever, you know what I mean? Like that would be more of a problem. He's too busy focused on like actually being an attorney and doing his fucking job. And so to me, you know, when I'm sitting here and I'm bringing attention to this, I'm doing this for my own survival right now, because I'm going to come clean on a couple of things, and it's not that bad, but whatever. Let's just go through the text messages. Last night she said, I haven't reached out before now because it's been one mess after another, but I've always supported you. I don't understand why you would talk about me tomorrow. And I said, how many times did I share or express to you that I cared very much about Aiden? I can't believe it was you saying those things about him. This is the first time I've talked to Tina about it. Now, the day after, or like 24 hours after I first found out, with no other context, hadn't seen the screenshots of the account, was just going on Aiden saying it's her, talking to Courtney, and Courtney saying like, you know, I feel so bad for Tina, very sympathetic for Tina. I sent Tina a message and I was like, I just want to let you know, I know you're feeling down. I know I'll read it. I'll just fucking go back. Hi, I know you're feeling down today. I just wanted to tell you, I am still your friend. I am not judging you for anything. You have been a good friend to me, and that means something. The rest we can talk about whenever you're ready. And she was like, okay, I'm not ready. And I told Courtney, I want to talk to her about this. I want to know what's going on. So we never talked all week. I had not heard from her until this. And she said, regardless of what I ever said, I never shared anything private that you shared with me about him. We're going to talk about it anyway. And I was hurt after what happened last year. And I'm not making excuses. And obviously I handled it wrong, but it's not straightforward. And any good I ever did or any support I gave just now goes out the window, ? And I was like, I'm having a very difficult time understanding what you've done. She said, I understand that, but it's really not straightforward. I wanted to delete the account for weeks, but there were quite a few people who confided in that account and appreciated the support. And the account was getting blamed on Jason Broyles. Some people really believed it. They were scared and they had been telling him stuff. I felt if I deleted it, it would confirm that it was him. And I said, what does that have to do with publicly attacking Aiden? I'm going to skip this part because I'm not going to bring this person's name into it. I created that account last year when he wasn't talking to me or Courtney, and this is rooted in Meredith. They had major problems with Meredith. And Meredith was sending Courtney's records to other burners accounts and talking about us. I never meant for it to attack him, but I was disappointed with some of the things that went on during the time and how he handled it. I can't even now think of the top of my head, but I was obviously upset during this time. I made a mistake. This is where I started to get angry. I said, a mistake is one thing. This is habitual deceit. Take your posts of Meredith out of it. The posts about Aiden are insane. She said, I can't take back what I said. I saw some screenshots and I was surprised at some of the things I said. I really have no excuse for that. I just want to be clear here. This is not you made an account, you used it for a day or a week or whatever. It's a year of using this account. What do you mean? A mistake is me forgetting to put on mascara today. Not every day of the rest of my life not wearing mascara and be like, I've got to put on mascara. It's not this is not a mistake. Okay? And I think this text exchange made me realize all the more how fucked up it all is, to be quite honest with you. I can't take back what I said. I saw some screenshots. I was surprised. Okay, I said that. I really have no excuse for that. So-and-so told me that Aiden was hurt because I had always supported him. I feel terrible about that. I really do. I wrote him an apology. I haven't shared it with him yet because I don't want to upset him more. Aiden has chosen not to talk about it, and I'm not sure why you are. I understand you're being a friend to Aiden and you care about him. That's the biggest part of this. That's the biggest part of this. What does it mean to be a friend, to anybody at this point? I understand you're being a friend to him, but I don't see how talking about it more helps, because we're going to talk about what I shared with you, so you can't use that against me. That's why we're talking about this. But I don't see how talking about it more helps. Everyone has already seen what happened. No, not true. According to my group, my chat here, not everybody has. Getting absolutely dragged, rightfully so. I'm not saying I shouldn't be, but I just don't understand how you talking about it helps at all. Because you know what? This is how things feel good. This is how people feel better about things. We talk it out. I'm open, I overshare, and I'm authentic. You use fake accounts and lie to me the whole time. She even sent me a screenshot of the burner account saying something. At any point in time when she sent that, did she go, hey, that's my account? So you were lying to me even. It's delusional lying, like Erin just said, and it's weird. I said, maybe I want to be maybe I want to be crystal clear to everyone that I had no knowledge of it. Multiple accounts are tagging me all week about it. I spoke with Aiden in person, face to face. I truly wonder if he believes me. And there's a photo of us together at the Wilbur, Tina. She said, I feel absolutely horrible about this, especially Courtney getting dragged into it. And I do understand why you would want to be clear about that. I think Aiden is the only one who should be concerned about it. No, I am too. That is her trying to manipulate and make you feel bad about sharing. No, man, doesn't work that way. I mean, first of all, I said to Aiden, I'm going to talk about it on the show tomorrow. You know what Aiden said? What time? He didn't say don't. He said, what time? And I wasn't asking permission from him either. And I think he knows me well enough to know, is this whole thing about me? No, I'm going to talk about this one little chapter in a book about this. And then I'm going to bless and release it. We'll fucking sage it and let this go be handled by the two people that actually are the bigger issue here, which is Aiden and Meredith. If Aiden thinks you had anything to do with it, I can assure him you didn't. And I responded, your word has zero value at this point. Can you imagine lying about Aiden, lying about the account, and then saying, if you need Aiden to get an extra layer of confidence that you didn't know what I was doing, I'll tell him. What does that do? I actually have no way of proving that this wasn't me. And I'm smart enough to know these things come out later on. There's going to be more. Somebody's going to say that. Somebody's going to be like, you know what? She's playing the long game here. She's like being you know what I mean? She's befriending him and she's going to get him after. Like, don't think I haven't thought about that. Because there's somebody else that did that, and it was Leah Genduso or whatever her name is, and she actually commented on this. She said, I absolutely fucked up, and I'm trying to do whatever I can to fix what I can. Whatever, not my problem. I said, I told you multiple times I don't have burner accounts. I hate them. I said, do you think Meredith is going to let this go? I said, never. She said, I understand. I really don't know what else to say. I know I fucked up. I want to try and move forward. Of course you do. I hurt Aiden. I understand you're hurt because Aiden is your friend, but I've been a friend to you, and friends fuck up. And I don't understand how talking about it more publicly helps anything, especially when Aiden has chosen not to. I know why Aiden hasn't talked about it. That's his choice. Aiden has been hurt by people lately. This gets me. Aiden has been hurt by people lately, and he thought were his friends, like how so-and-so shared texts between them. Oh, that's Jen Altman. I don't have a problem. Like how Jen Altman shared text between them. You shared a lot about him with me and Courtney. I obviously never shared anything that you told me about him. That sentence right there is why I'm doing this today. That right there. I'll talk about it and I'll tell you, and that's it, because I'll be damned if you think you're going to hold anything over my head. I said, I've said some not nice things about Meredith and Nurse Kim to you in text. I worry you're going to share that. I want to get ahead of it. She goes, my point is we've all made mistakes. She goes, where would I ever share that? Maybe in a burner account that you have? I don't know. Maybe you got more. I don't know. I said, I also shared information, although limited, about Aiden with you regarding his breakup. She said, I had said I wanted to delete the account for weeks, and the only reason I didn't was because I worried about people who confided in that account. You worried about people that confided in an account when you were pretending to be someone you weren't? Isn't that the issue? That people were confiding in an account and they didn't know who the person was? That's a bigger issue. And also, those people are crazy. If you're confiding in an account and you don't know the person behind it, you're also fucking nuts. Did you see Kyle Sharkey? I said he popped up in the comments. I don't know if you're a person or not, and maybe I've got trauma, but like, what do I care if you're talking to someone and they confide in you and they only think you're Mayor O'Neill, you're a burner count? What did you form a bond with these people with a different personality? I'm not trying to hurt anyone else or anything like that. It's not a good feeling. I felt the worst person. I felt like the worst person ever, and I can't really handle much more. How is this getting ahead of it? I said, it wasn't a mistake of me to share things about Aiden with you. You and Courtney worked for Tim on Aiden's case. I never suspected that you never had his best interests at heart. She said, Jess, I didn't work on his case the entire time that account was active. I went to one meeting as a favor. I said, and to be honest, that really bothers me. I thought that you and Courtney were literally the only two people who truly cared about him. She said, I never shared anything on that account about his case. I do care about him. I was hurt at the way I was treated and how he let Meredith treat me. I didn't talk to him for over a year. I remember the anger eased up, though. I could be angry at him, but I still want what's best for him. I told you I was disappointed in how he handled some of the things over the course of that time. Me and Courtney were the only two people who had the guts to tell him things that nobody else wanted to mention to him. I said, there are things that I don't do, and I'm not trying to sound condescending here, but fake profiles and attacking people I care about is not my style. It's gross. And I do have a hard time separating those behaviors from your friendship with me, but there's not much I can do about that. She said, Jess, I completely understand if you don't want to be friends anymore. As if that was still an option. As if that was still an option. I can never talk to you again, ever. I can never talk to Courtney again, ever. I'm not mad at you, and I'm not. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for not being mad at me. What the fuck did I do? And I'm not going to try to come after you. I dare you. I have so many things to work on on myself that I can't even think straight. I just don't believe you talking about something that doesn't involve you helps anything. As long as Aiden knows that you're a true friend to him, that's all that should matter. Well, maybe by me doing this, maybe that like seals the deal with him from him. You know what I mean? I don't know. He has just been blindsided by the fact that you were a burner account. I am sure it has rocked his world and he can't believe it. I know. Why am I saying I'm sure? I know he can't believe it. I know. I know that. I don't need to like speculate on it. I've spoken with him about it. I'm staying off. I wasn't planning on coming to mod your show tomorrow and act like nothing happened. I'm staying off social media as much as I can, and I'm just trying to work through this. I said, I told Erin to remove you. Fake accounts keep posting you were a mod. She said, I understand. I'm not mad about that after all, at all. I have no hard feelings towards you or anything. Why would you have hard feelings towards me? I know you don't think I deserve it, and maybe I don't. What part? I have no hard feelings toward you or anything. I know you don't think I deserve it. I know you don't think I deserve it, and maybe I don't, but I'm asking you to please just extend some grace to me right now. I just want to let you know that there is grace in here. There are some things I'm not going to share. So there is grace. Because again, I took 2 phones and I went through all of them yesterday. That's why I didn't get any real productive work done, because I was going back and looking at everything. And fine if you don't think I don't deserve any grace, but it doesn't look good for Tim or Mark either. I beg to differ. And poor Courtney has suffered through when she had absolutely nothing to do with it. I don't buy that for a second. So let's get into it. We're going to start with what I said about Meredith and what I said about Nurse Kim. So, and this is actually very important. Wait, Erin has to say something first. Go ahead.
I was waiting for somebody to catch that when you had said some things about Meredith and him, and I was waiting for things to come up in the comments, and nobody even mentioned it. And I was like, "Oh, you skirted right by that." But yeah.
We will talk. So I think every person has people, and maybe not, but I think every person, every girly has in the YouTube community has a space where they feel comfortable enough to be themselves and to talk about how they feel. And this is actually something I'm glad we're going to talk about, because I want to be clear. If you can't tell, I like friends and connecting with people and having like meaningful connections, right, with people. And easy enough with guys and men, harder with girls. And I feel like I'm a really good like judge of character. Well, apparently not. Actually, scratch that. Your Honor, strike that from the record. Erin's good. So first of all, just so you know, these 2 people had real issues with Meredith, real issues. And in the most simplest of forms, they were the gatekeepers of Aiden and leading into him going into jail and while he was in jail. And Meredith, if you all know, and I'm not talking about their relationship beyond this, kind of came in the picture while he was in jail. And in my opinion, Meredith being a part of Aiden's life as a girlfriend post jail was a real threat to Courtney and to Tina, in my opinion. And they did not like her. And they dug up stuff on her and they called her mother and they did all of these things behind the scenes of Aiden and Meredith to kind of sabotage the relationship, in my opinion, from what I can gather. Not what I gather, that's what I know. They didn't like her. And Meredith has her own shit in the background that's been out there. And so do I think that they were right on some of that stuff? Yeah, there's some shit in Meredith's stuff that's crazy. But that's not their choice. That's not their decision. That's for him to do. It's his girlfriend. And they were like managing him and gatekeeping him or whatever. And so they have always had an issue with her. And because of his relationship with Meredith, at some point, he chose his girlfriend over these girls. And it was a very delicate situation because, according to them, Courtney was still attached to the case, as was Tina, by the way, just informally. And he chose his girlfriend over them. And that started all of this. This is where she started the account. He cut them off and they just had a problem with it. And so then it was just like, let's just go after Meredith for a year, go after her looks and all these things. Now, my own interactions. So just so you know, going back, almost every single solitary time Meredith was discussed in our text messages, it was always initiated by Tina or Courtney, never me. There's no text message. It's always me reacting to what they're saying. Almost all of the time, I don't even really react from all of the text message I've seen, but there's an issue there and they were talking about it. And again, now this is the time when Aiden and I are talking more. I expressed to not only Aiden post breakup and also to Tina and Courtney, I didn't get a great vibe from Meredith. I like girls that talk to me, come up and say hi, and I'm warm and I'm receptive. If you've met me, we're hugging, we're talking. I was like, hi. Like, I really like, I don't know how to interpret someone that is cool or cold because I feel I'm not a threat. I feel like I am just fun and here and like there's no issue, there shouldn't be an issue here, right? And so my default emotion is I love all the girls. That's my default thing. We start with that, we work backwards from that. And my interactions with Courtney were cool. Not Courtney, Meredith were cool at court. She was quiet, she didn't talk much, she didn't say hi much, and I didn't know how to interpret that. And so I wouldn't say I had her on my list of like besties. I was just like, all right, like she's kind of mean, not mean, just is like kind of cool, like bitchy, like whatever, like resting bitch face, right? Like that's how I interpreted Meredith. And I had no interactions with her, just simple hi. There were a couple times, and I'm sure she wouldn't remember, but I would say hi to her or smile in court and she didn't react. That started to build up over all of these court cases where I was kind of like, whatever. Now, somebody's saying like she's socially weirdish. Yeah, but also she was dating Aiden, right? And she was always around and she was always doing so. I didn't buy in that she was like a wallflower type. You know what I mean? But I'm just telling you, it didn't feel right. And so if Tina or Courtney was talking shit about Meredith, I would have doubled down on that in there and I didn't. But I was just like, yeah, she's weird. Like, you know what I mean? Like, whatever. It wasn't anything that I was sitting around and thinking about. I would react to it. And so that is my reaction. To be quite honest with you, if I'm correct, the only time I ever talked to Meredith was after I gave up my seat to Aiden. She texted me and she was like, that was really nice of you. Like, you didn't have to do that. And I, that was the only time I think I had spoken with her. I think maybe we talked about one other thing or text, but I can't remember, but like, didn't, whatever. I actually felt like we warmed up to each other that day. You know what I mean? And we saw each other a little bit, but like, I'm just saying, whatever. That was my take on it. Then shortly thereafter, or at some point in time, Aiden and her called it quits. I'm going to be honest with you. I think the way that it was handled, and we're not going to talk, this is weird talking about other people's relationships, but he's a public figure and he's, whatever, famous. But like, I was so proud of the way that they handled it. I like the way that they respected each other. They didn't drag each other. Like, it was just, I'm proud of Meredith and I'm proud of Aiden. And it was just like, it was so subtle. Nobody even knew. I mean, you all know, you all pay attention. You all see the comments like, where's Meredith? She's not here. You know what I mean? Like the absence of her, I think eventually people picked up on, but I was really proud they handled it like in the way like two normal people, adults break up. Like it's possible. It doesn't have to be a fucking Lindsay Gattani fucking court order jail time bullshit when people break up. You can just break up, right? And so they just handled it really well. But I also know like he took it really hard. And I'm not going to say, but it was hard for him. It was hard for him. And I said that to them. I told them that. I didn't say too much detail, but I said like I knew he was having a hard time one time, like about it. and it was hard for him to not like have her around, and he was missing her and like the presence of her. And I shared that shit with them, and I'm afraid that they're going to go and post that or tell him that. And so to Aiden, I'm telling you, I told them about when you were down. It was, a couple days where you're down bad. You had some real heavy stuff going on, and like he was bad. And I'm mad that I told them, because then they can use it against me or whatever, like that I like violated his privacy or whatever, but whatever. So, you know what I mean? Uh, so, that was the extent of my shit talking about Meredith. I would agree with them, but it was never initiated by me. I did share that stuff about Aiden and what he was going through, about the break. What's the matter? Do I need to see it? I'll mute it. Y'all have to wait. And so a couple of those things. And then there was, if you guys watched his show one day, he was talking about someone changing his password on Facebook and stuff like that. And how did it go? There was an issue with who he thought had his Facebook. He was talking to me about that, and I talked to them about that, and who he thought it was and the circumstance and how he got it or whatever. And again, because legal team. So I thought this was a good safe space to talk to about that. Like I was worried about him or whatever. You know what I mean? So that's that. Now we'll get to the Jen Altman and Nurse Kim stuff. Nurse Kim's here. Hi, bestie. This is for you. So joining the YouTube community, I hit the ground running and just obliterated Brian LTL right from the start, right from the jump. Looking back, rough way to start things. Erin saying, did you talk for 5 minutes and then everybody else? I think what I did was really important, and it was we're going to clear that up. I'm going to tell you something. I had to tell you all how I felt about Brian, so you all knew that that is how I felt. And I was paid, and I did it for the money, and I did it for the stacks, and that was it. And I just didn't want to start in this space and do this shit and be like, oh yeah, no. Like he wasn't my style. And going back and watching the Nathan interview, fucking cringe. And I have a text message where I literally was saying, I will never, ever let myself be in a situation like that where I'm adjacent to an interview that was so bad, and the fake crying, and the we did it, Tommy, and all, like I did that. And on top of it, because of the shit talking about Will or whatever. By the way, just so you know, while I was in my phones, I found my very first text message from Brian. And do you know what it was? I posted about Mike Crawford asking me to go on his show. Mike Crawford said something about like, you should come on the show. And I was like, okay. Brian LTL inboxed me. I'd never spoken to before. And he's like, if you think you're going to get on Mike's show, you're going to be waiting a while. You should like come on mine. Like he poached me and I didn't even know. And that's supposed to show right from my very first interaction with him. That's what he was about. Okay. So there's that. So I get into this YouTube world. I start this shit with Brian LTL, and there's another queen in here, and it's Nurse Kim. And I had never watched any of her shows. I didn't even really know anything about her. And I mean, no disrespect, I just didn't. And there was a live stream going, and it was about LTL. And Kim was in the chat. And she said she was going to message Nathan Reed for the receipts or something. And I was like, why would I lie? Or, you know what I mean? Or like, I don't know what was being said. Facts matter or something like that. And it's like, I only know how to tell the truth now. And later in the show, we're going to talk about why. But I only tell the truth. I have like this thing about like, I don't even care that you know everything. And so I didn't interpret that as like, shots fired, but I was just kind of like, I don't know if I like her. Just like a regular person. I was like, I don't know if I like her. And so I said that to them. I guess Tina was watching my show and she was like, something about Nurse Kim. I was like, I don't know. I'm getting the vibe. Didn't say it here because I know she's beloved, but in the space of my chat, I was like, I don't know how I feel. Again, this goes back to how I feel about women. And by my default, it's I love women first and we're all together and I love my besties. And then it's like we work backwards from that. And so my default emotion was I liked her, but then this was a little weird situation. And so I said that in the chat with Tina and Courtney. The next time I said something in the chat with Tina and Courtney is because I was doing a show about Bethesda House, and Kim had started to talk about Bethesda House, or maybe she did a live. And in the chat, she said about doing a roundtable or something like that. And she was like, yeah, I'd like to do that. And so I interpreted that as teamwork, like, let's do teamwork together. And so, yeah. And so after the show, or I don't know if it was the next day, like when I finally settled in, I sent her a message on X and I was like, hi, Erin told me that this was said in the chat. Like, if you want to do that, like, I don't, yeah. And I was like, I sent the message and days and days passed and she never responded. Now, and I don't know the timeline, but also there was the other space where she's in with the JFK crew, and that JFK crew didn't really like me for a hot minute there, right? And so or Erin, so that was all kind of going, right? So I sent her this message, and I was like, I, you know, not olive branch, but it was just like, okay, let's do a thing together. And she never read it, and I don't know at this point if she just doesn't work on X, or is she a YouTuber or a TikToker? Like, where does she get her messages? Right. So I have a text message where I said to Tina, now, ironically, I knew Tina had a burner account, but it wasn't this one. And she said it was just to look at stuff. So I have a text message between Courtney and Tina where I said, do any of you have access to your burner account? I want to know if you can send Nurse Kim a message, something super generic, because what I want to see is if she's just ignoring my message. And if somebody sends a message like, hey, I want to like do something, or like, I want to Venmo you, will Kim see that message and respond? Right? Or will she just never respond and never see it, which would have made me feel like maybe she just doesn't go into her messages folder, or maybe it's buried in like, I reached out once, I didn't hear from her. And so I asked Tina and Courtney if they would message her something generic like that. And if that makes sense. And Tina actually said, I can't do it because people know who that account is. And Courtney said she didn't have an account. And so that is the second time I talked to them about Kim in the chat. I think the third time was that Kim walked right past me at the Wilbur and didn't say hi. Oh, yeah. Erin's saying there was a follow-up with the Bethesda thing. Oh. So Erin is reminding me there was another thing in there, and it was that I spoke about the Bethesda house. Kim was in the chat, and I had mentioned that I sent her a message, and Kim said, I'm going to go get the message and I'll message you. And she didn't. I actually forgot about that. So that was the third time. Erin didn't forget about it. And so then the next time was she walked past me at the Wilbur, and maybe she didn't see me or whatever, but I thought it was kind of a snub. And I was disappointed, but I lamented about that in the chat with Courtney and Tina as well. So from what I gather, those are the things I talked about with Nurse Kim to Tina and Courtney. I want to get ahead of those. I think that that's being as open and as honest as I can. I have since watched several of Nurse Kim's shows. I think we have a lot of things in common, the way that she has her lovies and I have my besties, and she's very funny and sexy. And I think that those are like really great attributes. I don't know how to navigate through this YouTube world other than just being myself and being honest. And so that was it. And then the last person, quick question, most makes you think you are the what? Listen, you messaged her, she didn't answer it. You acknowledged that you messaged her, she acknowledged that, and she never reached out to you, and you saw her there. So like, of course, you're not gonna. I don't know what that person is saying. It's just. You're not gonna go out to somebody that. So I mentioned the thing at the Wilbur. That was like nothing. That really wasn't a big deal. I'm just telling you, I mentioned it with Tina and Courtney so that if like screenshots start dropping, that was what it was about. At that point, it was not that big deal at all. a bigger deal was that there were multiple attempts to connect with her and she didn't reciprocate. That is not something I would have ever discussed or talked about here. What I'm saying to you is I'm getting ahead of that because there are people now that I don't trust, that nobody should trust, that I talk to about that privately. And so, because we have somebody who is diabolical and making fake burner accounts and going after people, I'm sharing it so that I don't get blindsided by it. And then I have to come backwards and explain. I think it's totally normal for me within the context of a group chat with people I trust to say I'm feeling insecure or weird about a person. And I'm sharing it now because now people have learned that this person is someone you can't trust. And that is why I'm explaining it, if that makes sense. Okay? This is nothing this is not an issue. See, here's the thing. I would be mortified, right? If tomorrow a burner account shows up and it's like me saying like, can you go and get a burner account and send Miss Kim a message or Nurse Kim a message and be like to see if she sees, like, do you know what I mean? Like, so I've been down this road a long time, long before Karen Reed, long before all of this shit on X. I've lived in a world where burner accounts are destructive, psychotic, and really ruin people's lives. And I was down fucking bad for a long time over one, and it's a real problem or whatever. So this is my issue. I have no issue with Kim. And I got interrupted because I saw a residual message here. It's not that I have an issue with people using them for my benefit. Listen, I don't know how else to explain this. I'm telling you because I said it. That's it. I said it in a message. Can you send her a message about something generic so I can see if she sees the message? That was it. I wanted to, in my mind, I thought that there was a chance that the message was buried or she never saw it or she never checked her messages on X. And I wanted to know that so I could feel better about her not responding to me. That I'm talking about this like as clearly as I can. Like if people are going to like run with this, I don't really care. It's more important for me to get ahead of it. The last person that was discussed is Jen Altman. And I'm going to get ahead of that as well. There's a real history there with the Jen Altman stuff between Courtney and Tina, and I don't really care to get into it, and it's too much, and I don't even really get it. I'm just going to tell you that recently, I felt persuaded to, I'm not even going to say start shit. I had Jen Altman's name on my agenda for last week, and the issue was only because there was some text messages or screenshots of messages, private messages with Aiden, right? And they got shared. And I found out who I called Aiden and I said, who shared these private messages between you and him? And it was Jen Altman. And he told me Jen Altman. And I was like, do you guys see a pattern of bitches taking his screenshots and sharing them with people? No, I'm not calling you a bitch, Jen. I'm just saying, like, these hoes ain't loyal is all I'm going to say. These hoes ain't loyal. When there's a bitch in the mix, these hoes ain't loyal. And I felt super defensive of him. Like, who? I'm not going to be sad because call me LTL because I'm crying on a podcast. I just feel bad for him. It's a weird space where he just gets burned over and over and over again. And because I'm friends with him, which I don't talk about and I don't need for clout, because I talk about him, I kind of got miffed about the Jen Altman thing, sharing the text messages. She texted me out of the blue. I would never text Jen Altman. I've never texted Jen Altman. She texted me and asked me if I wanted her help on the Kelsey Fitzsimmons case. And Courtney works on the Fitzsimmons case. So if I'm talking about the Kelsey Fitzsimmons case, that's because I'm friends with Courtney, and Courtney is keeping me up to date first on the Kelsey Fitzsimmons case, which when Jen Altman is like, I want to help on the Kelsey Fitzsimmons case, and I tell Courtney, Courtney's like, no, take her off she's a mod on the Facebook page. I want her off. And I was like, okay, I'll take her off. Like, I don't know the history there. I don't know the history. So like, okay. So she messaged me that, and then, whatever. And then I asked, because again, like, I like to ask why did you share those text messages? And Jen and I got into a little bit of a back and forth. She's like, it's more complicated. And there's always a history. Like, we go, Aiden and I go so far back. You're new. We all go, but Courtney, I went back far with him. Tina, I've been with him in the beginning. Jen, I've been there so long. You're new. I'm not sharing screenshots of my conversations with him. I delete them immediately, by the way, because I'm not stupid. He never retained text messages with Aiden. In the river, the phone goes. Not saying we talk about anything. I'm just saying, like, don't be dumb. So Jen Altman texted me. She saw her name on the agenda, and she was like, "Oh, can you not talk about me?" Blah blah blah. And I was like, "Don't tell me what to do." And Erin's making us a sweatshirt. Don't tell me what to do. So, they had an issue with Jen Altman. I had a minuscule issue with Jen Altman, which was like, she thought that she could tell me not to do something, and I don't like that. And so that's pretty much the extent of it. I've seen some shit with Jen Altman. I'm not saying I like it. I like her. I haven't had any issues with her. I just think the Aiden stuff, that's it. I don't know. I don't know. I think, I'm not saying I'm being protective of Aiden in a way, but like, I don't need to like be nice or kind to people that aren't being loyal to him, if that makes sense. I don't know. Does that make sense? I know that's a lot. My face started getting red. I want to like live in my space, and I do what I do. I'm loyal to my people. I don't turn my back on them. I can't. The hardest part about the Tina and Courtney thing is I would have put them into the category of people that I would have been loyal to, but now that's gone. So bye. I don't know what else to say about that. Right? We have any comments that I can talk about? I need to talk about. Anybody have any questions? If you have a question, drop it and we'll answer them right now. And then I'm gonna like school you all on the Ryder Cup. This took an hour. Sorry? So the reason, Tina, I talked about this is because you are in possession of those text messages where I talked about, and I went through it beyond the stuff that I just said. There's no more to that. There's no more. I didn't say anything about Nurse Kim beyond that. I didn't say anything about Altman beyond that, and I didn't say anything about Meredith beyond that. But I did have those conversations with them. And so I just want to get it out in the open and let everybody do whatever they want to do about it. Jen Altman wants to make a burner account and come after me. Go ahead. I don't care. Y'all have never had an article written about you and posted on Turtle Boy. So there's not much that can get to me. Someone said I'm heartbroken. Amber's finally here. Heartbroken for Aiden. I think you all see what I see. He's a softie when he is not being a hard ass with all these other things, and he gets fucking burned. And it is a tragedy in itself. That's a whole book somebody could write about that. How many people this guy has trusted and have burned him. And if I can stay married to my husband for 13 years, I have the tenacity to withstand anything and any pressure to turn on him. Not saying anybody ever has, but I am determined to stay the course. Okay. Also, I don't need, Lauren, note to self, LTL is live right now. Hold on one second. Hold on. Brian. And so that's pretty much that. I wanted to get ahead of it. I don't really care. And that's it, I think. I'm still trying to figure out like how I fit in here. And over the past couple weeks, I received some calls and some messages from people. And there are people that I see a number here. I see 2,600 people watching. And so for me, it's just a number. Like I don't even look at that, but it's very hard for me to like remember who's watching. And I've met people this recently and I'm like, wait, you're watching me? And then I had somebody I'll shout out to Sheila. Um, I had this girl call me the other day and she's like, I can't believe you picked up. And I was like, yeah, I've always pick up, I may hang up, but I'll pick up. And she was just talking about how much she loves my show. And it was just kind of like the last person or demographic I expected to be watching my show. And so those people, and then, someone that Erin was telling me about are the people that like, I kind of like care that I'm doing the show for, if that makes sense. You can't avoid the drama in this realm. You just can't. You know what I mean? You can't. I think it's good to address it and get ahead of it. And it's obvious there are people that do it in a different way. You know what I mean? Like, I got to be honest with you. I'm shook about the Tina thing in a way that I can't explain. It does make me question my reality in a lot of ways. It's made me reevaluate who I am talking to from this whole group. And like, oh, can I trust that person or can, you know what I mean? No. No. You can't trust me until you burn me. And then it is psycho. It is really is. So anyway, I don't think she deliberately betrayed me, but I also look at it as like, you know what? I was close to Aiden. They knew that. And, I'd get a lot of like, did you hear from Aiden today? Did he call you today? Looking back at those texts, I'm going, yes, bitch. No, bitch. Like, you know what I mean? All right. Are we ready to move on from that? Any other questions? I know I see some Karen stuff. I stay out of that. Trust no one, doesn't give them a chance to light a match on you. Well, I mean, listen, and I'm going to say it because it has to be said. They had that level of trust because of their adjacency to Aiden's legal team and actually being part of his team. So that's it. How did you first become friends with Tina and Courtney? They texted me. No unboxings yet, Amber. They texted me. I think my very first text with Tina, I didn't bring my other phone, but it was pretty boring. We started texting last year and then we kind of stopped. You know what I mean? It was like during the trial or something like that. Or I think it had to do with documents and getting court documents and things. And then I'm not saying it fizzled, but there was less of a need. And then when the trial started back up again this time around, and then we talked. I'm going to tell you something. I don't know if I ever talked to Tina on the phone without being on a 3-way call with Courtney. It was always together. So Courtney is friends with Leah Genduso. They were friends before. I didn't know that. I didn't know a lot of things. I didn't know how Courtney and Tina got on Aiden's case. This lady, I don't know, Aiden posted it or something, or not Aiden posted it, somebody posted it, but some attorney from New York like suggested Jen Altman, Tina, and Courtney. Kim's explaining the real truth, like on a show right now. I don't know. That's okay. Oh, she had a show scheduled already. Oh, okay. I'll go watch it later. Yeah, I don't know. But I hope I explained. I don't know if Courtney still works for Bradle. Kim's live now. I'll watch it later. Tell her I said hi. In the meantime, I am looking now for someone that has court doc access because I don't have it. Anyway, that's it. Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about the Ryder Cup. And then we're going to do an unboxing and then we'll talk about Tylenol, and I'm gonna share 2 things with you guys, and you're gonna lose your mind. I know my sister is in the chat, so maybe should we do that? Should we skip to the Hitler Diaries and then do the Ryder Cup? Erin wants to be watching the Ryder Cup. Erin and I are one of the only 2 girls that like golf that I know. I don't know if it goes back to when I was with Julia's dad. He's a big golfer. He used to go to Hawthorne Country Club. He was a member there. And so I just started watching golf, and it is like a very comforting, cathartic. I can watch golf for hours. I was obviously a massive Tiger fan. And so Erin and I like golf. Erin likes golf much more than me. She's far more into it. But there were many times where Erin and I would be like sending each other pictures of what we're doing, and we're watching golf. This weekend is the Ryder Cup. I'm going to explain to the girlies what the Ryder Cup is. We're going to go through like some fun facts about the Ryder Cup, and then Erin's going to tell me a little bit about like, Ryder Cup this week or whatever. Masters is my favorite. It's like a Super Bowl to me. I love the Masters. Somebody's saying golf later, please. Can Charlie go pro? Listen, we're gonna do a brief Ryder Cup, and then we're gonna go into some like crazy shit. Kelly, I love you too. Okay, Ryder Cup facts for all of you besties, girls. You'll do good. This is a competition between the United States and Europe. It's Great Britain is the original, but like it's Europe. So it's the US against them, and we compete, as opposed to like the Masters where it's individuals. These are teams, and they're competing against each other. It is every 2 years. Where's the golf guy in the chat? I know it's going to put you to sleep. I'm going to make it fun for you. This is fun. This is competition. Erin's going to be in.
And then I'm going to be
I know, but you talk because it'll echo. So tell me when.
It's
Go ahead.
muted. No,
if you were going to talk.
I was just going to say that I used to think golf was the most boringest thing in the whole entire world. Never watched it, could care less about it, had just no desire. Do you remember when COVID came out and Full Swing came out? Didn't even watch it then because I was like, fuck golf. It's just, why am I going to watch it so boring? So I don't know, maybe like the next year, 2021 or 2022-ish, I ran out of things to watch one day, and I was just like, oh, I'll just like see what this is. Within the first 5 minutes of that first episode of Full Swing with JP and Spieth, I was hooked. And that season, it was just wonderful stories, guys. It was just incredible to watch. And I finished watching it, and it was the weekend leading right up to the Masters. And I was just like, what a fucking perfect world this is, because now I know all of these things and all these people. It was so fun to watch, and ever since then, I have been addicted. So I would suggest for those of you that aren't sold on golf yet, I think it's boring, check out Full Swing if you haven't. Start at the beginning because it was awesome. And that is all.
Someone's asking about the merch shop. It's bestieheadquarters.com if you want to cease and desist. So the Ryder Cup's every 2 years. It alternates with what does it alternate with? I feel like I remembered that wrong. President's Cup is every 2 years too. So I think President's Cup is in the alternate. I might have that wrong. First Ryder Cup was in Worcester, in case you didn't know. So it started here in Massachusetts. So that's kind of a big deal. And the United States has won 61% of these competitions since 1927, I think, which is the first one. So anyway, this year it's in Long Island. It's 3 days. It starts on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I wrote this part down because they break it down. First, it's the foursome, alternate shots. Then it's the 4-ball, which is like the best ball of the 4. And then it's singles on Sunday, right? What? Just letting you know, Nurse Kim is live, and your phone number, Jess, your private phone number is up on her screen for a little bit, maybe about 15 seconds. Oh, I don't care. Call me. You want to call me? I'll put you on right now. We don't care. We don't care. That's fine. And so it's Ryder weekend, and I just want people to love golf. Also, I've never been to a golf tournament ever. I've never been none of the things, but I love golf. And Yes, if you can find a video, I might. Oh yeah. Um, I feel that in the world of like the Biden life, and first president to ever go to the Ryder Cup was Trump. He showed up there. He walked Scotty out to. First of all, they did a flyover. Oh, it was Bryson. So first of all, they did a flyover with like jets or whatever, and then Air Force One flew right over, and then Trump comes in, and then he walks Bryson down to the tee, and he brought Kai, his granddaughter, who's a phenomenal golfer, and Trump obviously is. Oh, right. Kai's mom is dating Tiger Woods, right? Donald Trump Jr.'s ex-wife is dating Tiger Woods. So anyway, obviously Trump loves golf and whatever. And it's the first time president's there, and it's like America is fucking back. Trump is at the Ryder Cup. It's like Trump is never going to miss an opportunity to even like boast about the U.S. even at a Ryder Cup Europe competition. It's just so good. And so the White House, I think, shared it. Like, it's just, why can't we embrace golf? And I don't know. It's just, I love all of it. It's all my worlds colliding. And we all love the men. We love the men. I mean, and listen, I love a good meandering Tiger Woods. You know what I mean? I loved when all that shit came out about it. It's so great. It's just perfect for Tiger. I love him. And yes, so I'm waiting for his son to be the next. That I must have watched Charlie's Hole in One recently, like on loop, like 20 times in a row. He didn't even know. What? It has to be. He has to be. He has to. Aaron's not sold on Charlie Woods yet. So anyway, it's Ryder Cup weekend. Erin is gotta not stay long because she's missing it. She will be on her couch with a salad that she cuts up in small pieces and eating it. We can't watch it. Why? Oh, right. Erin is critiquing how you can view the Ryder Cup, and she's not happy about it. So that's it for the Ryder Cup. It was abbreviated. I just wanted you guys to get excited about golf the way that we're excited about golf. Can we get golf merch? Can I just tell you something? I don't know how many times I have had a Masters sweatshirt or hoodie or something in a cart and never pulled the trigger on it because I was just going to say Masters merch is outrageously expensive. Where was I? Oh, we were at Pier 52 in Fall River when Wiggy and Greg Hill show came. Courtney's pregnant, by the way. I don't know if anybody listens to it, but Courtney's pregnant. And two women walked in the morning, and they both had on Masters half zips, and I was like, that smells like money. Like, I was just like, look at those Masters half zips for women are like $1.25. Why is make golf merch affordable? Please, again, make golf merch affordable again. Or like we're gonna have to make our own. Bestiesheadquarters.com. I did say it earlier. All the Charlie Kirk sweatshirts are out. I've seen some pictures. Erin picked like the absolute best. This one is cropped and super soft. I don't know. I love it. We got lots of merch. Yes. So learning this is so great. We did not know, again, we explained this about how merch works and using Shopify and Printful or whatever. And anyway, out of the blue, we had $3,500 worth of merch that needed to be made. And so we get the money, and then we didn't even know that we had to send that money over to my account. And then from my account, Printful takes the money. So it's like this thing. Now, it doesn't go directly from Shopify to Printful, which is stupid, but whatever. So we had to wait. We couldn't fulfill the orders on the Printful side until the money was moved over into the account from Shopify. So Shopify gets its money, and then Shopify shows the money's there. Then I have to click a button and ask for it to be moved to my account. So then that takes a day or two. Then it finally gets in there. Then I can start fulfilling. So we had to wait. As the money came in, we would batch it out, and we'd start, it took, I think the first one we didn't do for 5 days because the money just, yeah, and it just never showed up. And so eventually we got it we got it. There were a couple people that were like, where's my, and I'm like, every order has been fulfilled. However, I got a check from someone that from not related. I went to deposit it in my business account, and the whole time all of this money was coming in, I thought my account's going to get flagged for like something, because I worked at Bank of America, and that's the kind of stuff like my bank would have flagged you for. I have a Chase bank account or whatever, and the whole time with the Besties headquarters stuff, I was like, it's only a matter of time. Well, I deposited a check, it didn't take the picture properly, so I manually had to capture it. That was it. So that was the thing that tipped it off. And then this whole thing happened where my whole account was locked down. There's fraud, or they're thinking there's fraud, and I don't have access to that account. And it's supposed to be released on October 4th, but on Monday I can call, or I can go to a Chase bank and I can have the, I mean, I really couldn't believe it. All of those sweatshirts and all of those orders, that didn't work, but a stupid check I deposited from someone that is reputable, it just, I don't know. So I don't have access to that account right now. So if you did order anything like since today's Saturday, since Thursday, gonna have to wait until Monday for me to hopefully accept it. It's just kind of stuck there. So nothing can happen. I'm done with that. All right, let's do one thing. We're going to talk about something. Last week I talked a little bit about people telling me like what to do, what not to do, and why I'm like this. And I talked about, did I tell the story about ice cream? But I told my story about the ice cream, right? And my stepfather. And in that show, we were talking about like, I was raised by a very, very strict stepfather. And I think a lot of people, so I'm not really sure how to say it. I think if you have, I don't even like saying these words because it feels weird to even say it. If you have abuse or you have trauma, I think everybody deals with it in different ways, right? For me, the way that I dealt with my abuse was to actually pretend that it wasn't really abuse, and that it was just life, and that I was just going through it. And that feeling of like getting up every day and like, number one, being grateful and thankful that I don't have that in my life anymore is a big motivator. And then number two, like, just like my tenacity to like overcome like mental hurdles. You know what I mean? Like if you live in a house, right? I'm going to give you a story, but we're going to explain this in a second. And I'm going to show you things, and I know it's going to go crazy. You guys are going to go nuts. I know it. My stepfather wanted our closets and our drawers to be completely neat and folded at all times. Okay. Had to be folded neat at all times. If anything was out of sorts, it was a problem. So imagine getting ready and going for school, being a girl in high school, just having all of the emotions and all of the things that go along with like your everyday high school stuff, right? And you get ready and maybe you're running late and you get out the door. If I did not put something away clothing wise or whatever, I would come home from school, and this isn't, and I'm a teenager at this time. I'm 15, 16. Every one of the drawers in my room would be dumped on the floor. All of the clothes would be off the hangers and on the floor in my room. Okay. And I know that's going to be hard for some people to understand. And I know I'm downplaying it, but that is literally what it was like. So I would come home, maybe for whatever reason at 16, 17, and come home in my room. All my clothes would be dumped in the middle of the floor because I didn't have something folded just right. Okay. So I just want to explain to you that this is where all of this is like, this is where it's come from. Also, I have to think that how I share things, like, and how I am, I do very well when people go, "Oh, I'm that kind of mom," or, "Oh, I've gone through that," or all of those things, right? This is something I've never talked about, and so I'm hopeful that by talking about it, somebody else has experienced similar things. I can't imagine same things, but then that might make me feel a little bit better about it. It's also conversations I've had with my kids about this stuff, and my children also think it's like very important to kind of talk about these things. So anyway, it's a little mini trauma session going on in here. So anyway, so that is like an example of like the kind of environment that I was in. And I don't know what happened, and I'm not sure, but like lately, I have just been very much obsessed with all of these things and reliving them and going through them. And it's affecting my day-to-day life in a way where I am spending too much time thinking about it. And it quite honestly probably should have gone to therapy at some point. I hate therapists though. I don't think they work, and kind of worked through this stuff. So in light of that, we're just going to work through it here. Um, I'm going to show you. So my stepfather would make cartoons and draw cartoons, and he would leave them out for us in the mornings, sometimes before school. When I was in high school, he would leave lunch money, or like if we needed something or whatever, and he would draw these cartoons. And I guess the only way to describe it is like, I guess, yes, I thought they were funny, but also they resonated with me as being mean. Now, as an adult, I look back and I think they're crazy and psychotic, but I'm going to share two of them with you. And then you guys can give me, oh, TT's back for it. I feel TT will be able to be, let's talk about this. Because I can't be the only person out of all of my followers and all of the people that experienced like any of this stuff. Okay. So this is a cartoon that my stepfather made for me. And I'm going to read it to you. Can people see it well? All right. So my stepfather, we would jokingly call him Hitler because he was so controlling and so mean. So he called this the Hitler Diaries. This is volume 1, issue number 4. And he drew a swastika and it says Psycho Comics. Now, we lived in Pennsylvania at the time, and where we lived, it was called Bucks County, Pennsylvania. And this is where like we had the first day of hunting season off. And when we got down there, I was very interested in hunting and deer hunting. I wanted to go hunting. I don't know. I just wanted to go hunting. And so I would be like, can we go hunting? And the answer was no, obviously. But he made this cartoon. So this is him. And he says, Psycho is his name. And he says, okay, Porky, I'll take you hunting. And I disclosed on the last show that my nickname that he gave me growing up was Porky. Okay. Just so you know. I'll take you hunting. Put your camouflage outfit I bought you on. And there's me on the side, and I'm holding it. And I say, thanks, Dad. And then in the next one, it's me dressed up in it. And I said, cool, it's made of real deer fur. And I said, are you sure it's safe to wear this in the woods? And he says, of course, I'm sure you got to look like a deer to catch one. And then in the next frame, it says later. And there's 2 hunters on the ground. And it says, look, there's one through the trees. And the hunter underneath him says, it's a big one, too. And then it's me screaming, help, help, they're shooting at me. And it's me saying, I'm not a deer, I'm a canine, because he used to call me a dog. This was drawn for me and left on the kitchen counter before I went to school when I was in high school. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is not normal. This is crazy. And it's crazy. Let's read the second one. So I guess we needed a calculator for school. And so he bought them and left them on the counter. And he would do that. He would wait until the last minute. So if I needed something or whatever, he'd wait and wait and wait. So here it is. This is coming like the morning of. So the Real Hitler's Diaries, volume 1, number 3, he put a SWAT sticker. It says Psycho. Now, my sister Jamie, who's here in the chat, her nickname was Storky because she was tall and lanky. And this one says Porky and Storky. Here are the 2 calculators, one for each of you. Storky, aka Jaime, Moonshot, Mother, Chicken Fingers, etc., gets first pick. Warning, do not try to pork your way into getting your choice or I'll kill ya, is what he said. Then he drew a cartoon. So this is 1992, 93, 94. I wanted a perm. I could not get a perm. Would never let me get a perm. Never. So he drew a picture of a shower, and it says Porky is in the shower, and then it says wall plug many volts, and then it's him holding the calculator, and he says, Porky, I got you a new calculator. And then later it's him saying, I told you you'd get perm, and it says Porky, and my hair is all fried because he handed me the calculator, which was connected to the wall plug, and it says, Mommy, Psycho tried to fry me. My mother did allow this. She did. So just so you know, these are like, there's multiples of these. These just, here's 2 extra layers of this so that everybody gets it. I knew my sister, my younger sister, who I don't speak to, sent me these many, many years ago. I found them in an old email, like early 2000s. And she said that Dad wanted you to have these. He kept these. These weren't written on paper, and he scanned them into a computer and kept them and then shared them to me. And I laughed, and I was like, wow, these are funny. I knew they existed. And I guess into some way, like, they are fun. That's funny, right? Like, it is. Isn't it funny? I guess it's funny, but it's not funny. You know what I mean? And like, it's not even subtle making fun of my weight. It's not subtle calling me names. It's not subtle, like the control. It's just, none of it is just so, it's so wrong. But I went to get these so that I could share them with Erin so she could share them on the screen. And so I pulled up the email, and you know, when you go to share a file, save a file, and you got to name it, these were already named, and he named them Porky 1 and Porky 2. He literally named the file. So this is years later. Like, he named them. Yeah. Yeah. Jamie, we never knew how traumatized we were till we were adults. I knew. I knew, but as an adult, and I don't know even why recently, I think it's worse because I know, like, how I am with my kids and how I raise my kids. And my kids are all, 6 or 7, going to be 17, 19, 24. Somebody saying, I think you made this story up. Okay. That this story is bullshit? It's definitely not. It's not made up. No. On this story, you're calling bullshit? How could I make this up? Well, so Jamie's saying that she's like, we never thought of ourselves as victims. And that is like literally how I think we like live our lives. We were like, we're not victims. We just get through it. You know what I mean? Like, if you're living in a house where like this stuff is happening, I don't know, like, this is why, part of why I'm so strong, because you have to like get through whatever that is fucking with your head in that minute. And then it's like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how else to explain it. He's still alive. So we moved to Pennsylvania in 1990 or 1991, I think. And, for his job, and we all moved down there. And then we were down there until 1994. At the end of the year, they got divorced, and my mother moved back. And then there was a space in time where, I'm trying to like figure this all out, but like, actually wanting to like have a good functioning relationship with him was important. He got remarried. He had a baby, or he had 2 kids. His wife at the time and I were very close, because I wanted to like fix things. I wanted my life to be normal. I wanted to forget all of that and start over. And his wife at the time, Jackie, really made that possible. She asked for me to be the godmother of his son. Like, this is my stepfather. It's not my father. Yes, he's still alive. Yes. Somebody saying, oh yes. So, but it eventually got to the point where even interacting with him really was just not okay. And I tried for many years, and it was just, I wasn't being honest. I wasn't being truthful. So there's that. And so ultimately he and her got a divorce, and that was a mess. I still talk to her. I don't talk to him. But years later, he has moved back here. He retired and he moved back, and he lives right in this city where I am right now. He's literally 2 miles away from here. And he is in this area. Yeah. So the other thing I'm going to put task the besties on this, because I don't think it's possible, but I'll task can we take this off the screen? Thank you. I'm going to task the besties with this. So when I was a kid, we, whose? Oh, okay. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Okay. So when we were kids, my stepfather had a camcorder. And so this is like 1985, 1986, and VHS camcorder. And there's a ton of, oh, I'm sure he's listening. I'm sure yes, I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah. I try not to think about that. And nothing I say is like with him in mind, but so he was like one of the only people in our family that had a camcorder, and we used to make music videos, and it was really creative, like at Christmas and holidays. And anyway, so there's a lot of family videos from holidays and Christmas, videos that have my grandparents on them, videos of me with my sisters, videos of my home, like childhood videos. And several years ago, I think my younger sister went down to see him, and she said that they watched them. And I already wasn't speaking to him at the time. And I asked her if I could get a copy of them, or if he could make a copy, or I would pay them, or whatever. Jess is still messy. Never wrong, always right. Justifying spreading people's private business. Huh? I can't scroll because it. So so anyway, so there was all these videos, and I asked for copies of them, and he told me no. And it really bothers me because I want them. Can I go to court? Can I get them? Can I sue him for them? Copies of them? Like, can I go to court and ask a judge and say, this is like, it's not personal property because it's not mine. It's not really intellectual property. They are his, but all of my childhood videos, all of my TT saying no, all of my videos, those memories are with him, and he will not give them, which is also just him still controlling me after 40 years. You know what I mean? A lot of trolls in here. We'll leave you. We don't take anybody out. Oh, Patrick Higgins, it's beyond the statute of limitations. It's a civil matter, and you won't get anywhere. Would it be worth it just to make him go in front of a judge? Like, could I do the case even if I don't get it? Yeah. Did somebody just say I'm distancing myself from the show? I'm not distancing myself from anything. Oh, okay. I don't care. I don't care. Everything I said about the fake account and Tina and all that stuff stands on its own. Y'all can go back and watch it 1,000 times, cut it, screen grab it. I don't care. When you are honest and you tell the truth about anything, whether it's what I'm talking about here or what I'm talking about there, it's like, it's freeing. You don't have to worry. I mean, you could file something against. I think I'm going to file. I think I just want to file, make him respond, make him come in. You know what I mean? My stepfather got rid of everything my mom's when she passed away. I still don't like him for this. Would he take money for them? Probably not. Probably not. How can Kim have a totally different story about what? You'd end up paying for his attorney's fees. All right, so I'm hearing that this isn't an option. All right, thanks for that, Patrick. Does Scooter Braun have just his music video? Anyway. Damages? Hmm. Don't give the guy any supply, Jess. I sure hope not, Monk, but with Jess's dad, you never know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just reading the comments. Yeah, there's like a lot going on. Some people are like, bring your dad on so we can hear his side of the story. Yeah, I'm sure his side of is that correct? I'm sure his side of the story is that it was funny and you laughed and blah 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 blah. Like I don't know, like I don't know enough about like abuse and trauma and like girls like that. I'm not really sure like how that works. But like I definitely know at times I tried to figure out like and make myself feel better and everything was okay. And there's a certain space and time where I really wanted him to be proud of me. That's weird. Like I don't really know, but I'm just going to tell you something. I have 3 kids and never in a million years would I ever let my husband make a cartoon like that, making fun of my weight or all of those things. Like I just would never allow it. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm not really sure how to work through it. And you know what? Thankfully for me, I have a twin sister who was witness to all of it. I have another sister. She was treated very differently. So I don't really think that I know she doesn't sympathize with it or whatever. I don't really care. It definitely, everyone I know, I am not drama. And let me say this, everything that happened is truth. And there is way more yeah, there is. Anyway, it felt good to get that off my chest and show everybody. I had your stepdad and he can't draw for, I don't know what that means. I don't really care if people are compassionate. You know what? I'm not kidding. Like, I feel like this is something I haven't talked about. I have this platform. It makes sense to me. I'm sure there's somebody that it resonates with them. And when that happens and somebody messages me, which I'm sure somebody will, and say, I went through similar stuff, that's going to make me feel better, if that makes sense. I already feel better. And I didn't even tell you half of it. It's crazy. He's a crazy person walking amongst us. So there's that. I'm going to take a second, read some of these things, and I'm going to confer with Erin on something. Stand by. Yeah, but what happened recently? He's back? What? I saw you say that to me. I just didn't know. I feel like to make myself feel better, we're going to do an unboxing right now. Is there anything bad? I can't say I care, but
No, it's not bad. It's the one comment I saw right at the beginning said just have them make a burner account to message Kim because there's
it's not true. I didn't have. I'm gonna send Erin the screenshot.
This is in her chat, so that I don't. It's all. Am I? She's just going over from what I can read from the chat. She's just going over the Courtney team and stuff. And the people that were like in here, somebody just saying that, and then there's people that are being like, "No, you're not understanding just what you're hating on Kim."
No, I was not hating on Kim. That's not it.
It's not. I mean, I'm sure she mentioned it, but what I saw from was like, this isn't about Jess. It's about Courtney and team. But you know, there's people that come on late and they're rewatching. They always comment in between. You know.
People are late and they didn't understand. Just so you get it, I would not have talked about the nurse Kim stuff and it isn't that big of a deal. I explained it, go back and watch it. But because I talked about her in there, I wanted to share it. If I wasn't clear and I was going over it, I'm going to get it and we're going to explain it. And that way there's no
Just
room for anything. We're
right.
going to
And just so everybody
understand.
knows why I was curious what was going on when I saw a couple of comments. So I just opened the chat on her stream just to see what was going on. So I was just
I'm going to get it. We're just going to get it.
that's what I was just reading. And it looks like my guess is what I can see from the comments on her stream. She's just going over like the stuff with the girls, like Courtney and Tina. And then that guy RVA that was in your chat being a troll was
Hold
over in
on.
there and stuff.
Are you talking? Are you? Oh,
I'm unmuted. I was just Mr. Monk. I was just checking out the chat on Nurse Kim's thing to see if there was anything, any misunderstandings or just to see what was going on. So typical misunderstandings. People say one thing, mean another thing, but it seems like this Jess didn't do anything. She was clearing something up that involved these two. There's a lot of comments about are they still working for him, blah, blah, blah. I don't know, Mr. Glare is in there for something, not about you, I don't know what it is, but I'm just glaring over at the chat on Nurse Kim's Live. That's all. That's what I'm doing. Tim just said on her show that she loves Jess. Okay, see, so I feel like people that are, what was Donald Trump talking about? Something like the emotional intelligence. I feel like the people that are normal and get things understand things, and then like the dumb trolls and stuff just try to stir up drama and just exactly what I was saying. I have no patience for that shit. I don't really care. So anyway, that's what I was just reading. That's all. Just being nosy.
I have the receipts. I said, I have a big favor. This is my group chat with Tina and Courtney. And this is, by the way, this is again why I added the Kim thing to my list, because this exists in a group chat with Courtney and Tina is lying. Yeah, Mayor O'Neill may get resurrected and share it. I need a big favor. Tina says, what's up? Courtney says, what is it? We've got you. I said, using your burner on X, can you message Nurse Kim? Just say something like, you're a big fan. Anything that you think might get a response. Erin and I talked after about her comments on my live on Saturday. So Erin and I, after hours, were talking that I don't see the comments all the time. She offered to do a roundtable with me. I didn't want to look like a dick, so I messaged her. Like, first I messaged her, and then I sent a screenshot of the message I sent to Nurse Kim. Hi, thanks for sharing my article on Bethesda and for joining the live yesterday. Erin told me you commented about doing a roundtable together on this topic. I think it would be a great opportunity for us to collab. Your nursing background lines up with this topic so well. Let me know your thoughts on what it would look like. Erin said you did a roundtable before. I think you can text or call me as well if it's easier. Love, Jess, and my number. I said no response. And then I said, I'm just trying to see if she's ignoring me or simply doesn't go to her X messages. And by the way, I think that is totally normal. After a couple of days, I'm thinking, is she doesn't like me? Am I being ignored or what? Like that's normal. She said, Tina said, I did see that comment. I can't use my Jenna Mo one because Altman, Meredith, and random people know that's me. But I remember her telling me about an account that she used just to look at things because I didn't even know Tina was on X. I felt that she boxed me in, like on the live. I said this about Kim, and I didn't want to be perceived as not being a team player. And now I have regrets because she didn't respond. And Tina said, regrets about making you feel that way. I said, I just don't want or need any more content drama. And that was it. So I was sent Kim a message because she wanted to collab and she didn't respond and she never saw it and to this day hadn't. And so that in my mind made me feel like she didn't really want to collab. And
also,
but I never
can't
shared that. I didn't publicly talk about that. I wouldn't post about. I mean, I didn't do anything. I just in a private chat where I thought like I could trust people, I said it. But now because those people are fucking weird and I know they're weird, I want to come clean about it and say it. And that's it. Kim says she doesn't check X. She thought you were emailing her. She said, no worries. Perfect. Got it. Good.
And I'm
Thank
not
you.
Jessica. I can't speak for this part, but me looking at this and seeing like those things. So like if somebody, you chat with somebody once, chat with somebody twice, and you send them a message and I'll check it, and then they never get back to you and they never read it. So like I wouldn't have run up to her at the Wilbur either. You know what I mean? To just be like, you know what I mean? If you're not sure, like, I don't know. Like, I tried to, like, does she want to talk? Does she not want to talk? So I don't know. And again, I'm not Jessica, but seeing it from afar, like, for anybody before saying, like, she have to come up to you, why didn't you go up to her? Like, I don't think I would have gone up to somebody
She hadn't
at that
responded to
point,
my
right? Like,
message.
I don't want
I
to.
was like, I'm not going to go bother her.
Right,
She
right.
doesn't even want to respond to me.
Anyway, that's all. Bye.
Also, again, like I want all of the girlfriends. Like I want this like thing. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of guys out here. There's not a lot of girls. But I'm also feeling a certain way now because I trusted Tina and Courtney and I can't trust them anymore. And now I feel really real. My pronouns are fuck you, Rigger Bob. Let's unbox. As I said before, I opened this and I'll show you what I saw when I opened it. I don't know if they want me to say, it says from David P in Illinois. Let's open. So I opened the box. I saw a note and then I saw another box and I didn't go any further. It's a yellow box. So let's read the note first. It's turtles. Oh my God, they put tape all around this. It's almost like they knew that I might try to open it. This is excessive. Hi, Jess. Congrats on your new YouTube presentation show. Keep up the good work. Enclosed is a gift for your studio. I hope you like it. Best wishes, David from Chicago. David, thank you. It's heavy. This feels like an award because it's the same as my box. Oh, that is heavy. Yeah. But you already opened it. I didn't open it. This box. Look at this box. Don't I not have this exact same box? And it's heavy. It's an award. It's an award. I didn't look at it. You're gonna fucking die. What this says. Oh, it says, Tommy, we did it. It's the date of the YouTube, the Nathan Reed interview. This is next level. Stepfather Greg is awful. Yes, this is great. Just because of the one that he gave me. You know what I mean? Like, so now they're over there. Yeah. We're going to we got to move them all to that table. Tommy, we did it. Oh, that's David. That is, and it is luxurious. We have one more. It's from Erin. And you told me about this? How far back? Last week. Oh. We have an American flag and it has a stand. We built. We built. We need a flag so we can say the pledge. Now if you didn't listen to the Jess Machado show on WBSM, we started every show with the pledge. I would say, please, how did I go? I go, before we do anything, let's do the pledge. I said, if you are at home, please stand. If you are driving, drive responsibly. And then I would stand and say the pledge. Sometimes I'd play the national anthem after. That's a good flag. This is really nice. This is fancy. Will you put it behind? Yeah. Dear God. Just so you know, when I got off, when I finished talking about the Hitler Diaries, I muted and I talked to Erin and I said, I don't want to do the show long today. I feel like a little too emotional. I don't feel like talking about any of the stories. I don't feel like fighting with people about Tylenol. We can talk about the Tylenol thing. We will talk about my sponsors. We will talk, and then we have a special announcement. We'll do that. I am struggling. It is. It's great. What did he say? No, leave him. Leave him. It's only one thing I love more than my children and myself, and it's my country. This is really great. Since I got my new car from Jeff Leary, all I've been doing is going on drives. Yesterday, I took a drive out to Elephant Rock. Today feels like a 2, 3, 4 sangria day. I'm just being honest. I don't ever really feel like it's a drinking day. Today feels like a day to have a couple of drinks and relax. Erin, this is so nice. Wow, it's great. To get the right one? Yeah, it's really good. I'm starting to like you now. Oh, do you? Do you like me? Everybody starts off not liking me. We did it, Tommy. We did it. We freed Karen. I did so many YouTube lives, and now she's free. We stood outside in the cold. Took the day out of work, paid, but okay, Bob, relax. Rigger, Bob, relax. I'm feeling a certain way. I'm in not a good headspace. If I stay on here, it's not going to be. You want to talk about Tylenol? We can talk about Tylenol. There's something crazy. It makes sense. I don't know. Not sure. I will tell you, I'll be honest with you, this has caused such an argument in my household. It's really good. It's a good flag. Thank you, Erin. I don't think we can talk about it. Can we go through my sponsors, please? Because somebody's saying we need mods. Let's go through my sponsors. We have some really great sponsors for the show. By the way, Erin's car is a total loss. We were thinking that it was going to be okay, and then the suspension was the issue. And so, no. Look at all of these people. Christopher. Well, so this is the other thing too. Now they're saying that it's the fault of the other driver, which I knew. It's just par for the course with Erin, where she thinks that she's the blame, or did she do something wrong? No. And in the meantime, my back hurts and I haven't gone anywhere to deal with it because she had me convinced she was at fault. And so now I'm very thankful that I can maybe go and get some physical therapy and move on with my life. But if I didn't want it, because I just didn't want to bother her. But if it's their fault, we're gonna anyway. Oh, you want to talk about your childhood trauma? Are we adding that? Not today. No. We'll do another show. They totaled the car. Yes. I haven't had my Coffee Depot coffee you sent me, but it is here. These are my sponsors. Christopher, since he's dropped out of the race for mayor, he's MIA. I don't know what he's doing, but he hasn't been around and he hasn't called me. But his food is still amazing. Thank you to Mike Keneally and Brian Shortsleeve, who smartly advertise with the show because they know that most of my work involves political things or whatever. I will let you know that may change those sponsors because I'm going to be making my decision on who I'm going to be supporting in this election. And I think it's very important that I make a decision. And I feel like I've made my decision, and we're going to do a whole show about that. My friend Amy at Silva Funeral Home is amazing. She sponsors everything. After Hours, they were so great, and Erin was so happy with them and was hoping that they would be able to fix the car. Karen, but it's a no-go. Stacy Face Travels. After I sue Cisco and I get a mint from them, then please book my trip to Miami so Erin and I can go and officially relax. Patrick Higgins and Associates, when I was literally in here asking, can I sue my stepdad for all my old videos? He knows the law and he's like, no. I by the way, I did a public records request for a bunch of emails for a school committee member, and in it was a bunch of things about Patrick Higgins saying there was violations of open meeting law violations. Like Patrick Higgins is so entrenched in those things. Anyway. So Behind, I received my Freedom t-shirt yesterday. Thank you, Donnie. And Nicole Sliney, last week we did a look of some of the houses that she has for sale. So there may be people on here who are watching. If you are in the realm of like this part of Massachusetts, Taunton, I don't know, everywhere, just look up Nicole. She will take care of you. And then Mallard Printing, who makes this studio all possible. And I wish I could play their videos, but they got me for copyright, so I can't. But Mallard Printing literally prints everything. I've learned this. There's at least one point in your life where you need something, wedding invitations, banners, whatever. Mallard Printing. These are my people. At the bottom, we have Attorney Rena Brown, badass, and then Powerhouse Remodeling. They're on vacation right now. I hope they're having a good time. Thank you to you guys. Also to those of you who want to, we may do away with sponsors. I'm not really sure about how I feel about this. I don't really know. People don't want to donate to me because I get sponsors. I'm not really sure. Like, I don't want to put it on the people because they donate to everybody. I don't really know. What I'll say is we are going to, let's make an announcement. We're going to do 2 shows a week. I ran into Auntie Deb at court this week, and he was like, you cannot just do 1 show a week. You can't have this go this far. You too good. You need to be on here. And I've heard that, by the way, all the time. People are like, you need to do more than 1 show. So we're going to do Wednesday nights, every Wednesday. So this show on Saturdays is going to be more about politics and news. And I don't know, and I'm not sure. Wednesdays might be a little bit more fun. We'll figure it out, but we're going to start doing Wednesdays. I asked Erin, I was like, Erin, we can't do a show every day. And she's like, yes, we can. She can actually mod from home if she can't leave the house or whatever. But like, I wish I could pull up the text, but she was just like, get me out of corp life. Like, get me out of this. And so we're going to do a second show, and then maybe we'll up it, but that's where we're at. Do you want Amy Richtrup from Silva Funeral? Inbox me, and we can connect you with Amy. Yeah, so we're going to do Wednesday night shows. We're going to start this coming week. The other thing too is I'm thinking of just doing every single night 7 to 9. And I don't know what everybody else's schedules. I don't want to do it. I just think we're going to do every day, 7 to 9 p.m. And then we may eliminate the Saturday show. I will tell you, weekends are my fun time, like with my family and going places, like looking ahead, like I can't go anywhere because I do the show on Saturday. If I want to go to New Hampshire, like this weekend, now that I got a really nice whip, I can't because I do the show. So I'm not sure. I think we're going to do 7 p.m. on Wednesday, 7 to 9. So we're going to do this Wednesday and every Wednesday, 7 to 9. And if we can, and people are liking it, then we're going to just do every night, Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. that fits better for me. I didn't want to do nights because I wanted to be home and cook dinner. You know how I want to do that. We can't. But what happens is there's a lot of things that go on during the day that I want to talk about, and they almost seem like too late to talk about on a Saturday, like the Tylenol thing. Everybody's talking about that. We should have been on here at night that day talking about that. So there's just enough. I love it every day in like the summer of the besties. And yeah. So that's what I'm thinking. Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. Who said that? Erin is saying, go ahead, you can chat.
Just tell her to do every day. All day, every day? All day, every day. But at least every day. That's all.
That's it. I don't want to talk about anything else anymore. I don't feel like I can give it right now. Erin's mad. Can I go to the bathroom and maybe you can talk? I'm going to take a break. Erin's going to talk. And then I'll be back and I'll decide whether or not we're going to go a little bit longer.
Okay. I don't know how many people are in here right now, but I'm not really sure I have much to show you. Took the whole big picture thing off. Y'all have questions? Questions about Jess while she's out of the room? Questions about me while I'm in the room? What are we missing in the chat? What's everybody doing today? What are we making for dinner? What are we eating? What do we have winning the Ryder Cup? We got a little break. How's everybody else doing with the Ryder Cup that's watching it? Are we stressed as well with the commercials and not what's happening? 367, is that on YouTube? Because right now we're looking at a little over 3,000. What's my new car going to be? Expensive. Not sure. I don't know because I don't want a payment. I had a really nice smallish payment on that car. Shine Alley tonight. Okay, noted. Hi everybody. So I'm not sure. I loved my car. I know you guys have heard it 100 times, but I really wanted to drive that car until the wheels like fell off. I loved it. So I honestly would love like just a comparable one. I don't want a new car. I don't want a nice new car because then I'm nervous driving it, right? The merch link, sure can. Bestie headquarters. Let me do that over here. So yeah, I don't know. It's going to be something I can afford. Y'all don't know this about me. I also have a motorcycle. I have a little Suzuki at home. Haven't ridden it in a year because me totaled theirs, and I don't want to have to clean up my own like blood and guts and stuff. So I got a little bit nervous. So I haven't ridden it in a long time. So I'm gonna have that loan to like roll in or pay off or something with a new car. So I'm not sure. I just want my car, but I know I can't. Yamaha. I got a little Suzuki. Well, it's not little, but it's fun. I used to ride dirt bikes. Going back, I don't know if you have any tomboyish girls in the chat. Terminator 2, when Terminator 2 came out, that opening scene, Edward Furlong on the dirt bike, I was hooked, like 4th grade, 5th grade. And then it's just been a long time. My kids were little, and then last year, I had a different job, making a little bit more money, and it was just the perfect drive. I didn't really have anywhere to go, and it was like a 40-minute drive up to Newport. And I was like, this is the perfect drive for a bike, so I just got one. It was awesome, and then somebody else got one, and then he totaled it, and I didn't really want to ride anymore because seeing like the blood in the guts up close and stuff, just not really sure it was worth it. So anyway, that's in my garage. So yeah, I'm thinking what I get from the insurance company is gonna pay off the rest of this loan. So I'm just not sure. I can't afford what I want. I don't also want a new car because then, like I said, you're afraid to drive it. I'm afraid to park in parking lots. I'm afraid to do anything to it. So I'm not sure. Right now I have a loaner from a friend. Same actual car as mine. So it's familiar, it's nice. I'm not sure what we're gonna do with that. Why did I think it was my fault with the accident? I don't know that we have time to explain my brain. So the long story short of that truck was in the left lane, right? If you guys know where we were, Tremont Street one way, heading that way. The Cisco truck was in the far left lane, which is a left turn only lane. I was in the middle lane, which was left turn Orange Street. I have a picture actually of my crash report. I should see if I can get that on here. And the light turn, so they were like the first ones in line. We were like at green light go. I never thought that truck was going to move to be taking like a left. I don't know if I thought he was like sitting there to deliver. Like those Cisco trucks over there, they park on the side of the road to deliver. I I knew he wasn't going to be going at the green light because there was no way he could be taking a left turn from his position there. And I obviously didn't think he was going straight, right? He was in the left lane. So I looked over my shoulder, the light turned green, and like went to go, and I was like going to turn to like go left. He was going straight, and I know I was backwards on here, so like left lane, supposed to go left. This is what was going to happen. And then this just the stairs. I mean, it's Boston Roads too. We were already super close. The stairs of his passenger side truck, just like grabbed a piece of my car and it just kind of like pulled. That's why she keeps. I can't. I don't know. I didn't know if I was too close to him. I didn't know if I just didn't know. I always think things are my fault. Again, we're not going to go through the childhood trauma of my stuff on here, but I just always think things are my fault first. So that's why I was just like, oh my God, what did I do wrong? This has to be my fault. Blah, 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 blah. Somebody asked why I thought it was my fault. So I don't know. I'm still because of pushing it as a person. So that's why I thought it was my fault. I was trying to, I wonder if I have, I don't want to bring it up because it has, no, why do I want myself on the big screen? Mostly not. I have the crash report that I had to fill out. Let me see if I'll show you my
it was 100% their fault from the minute it started until forever. And Erin just.
Let's see if I can find this here. Oh, crash report. Here it is. Let's see. How do I open this to share a screen? Oops. I'll show you real quick, because I don't want anybody's like personal information here. How's this? Good enough. Okay, let me see if I can share this one. It's very like low energy day in here. I don't hate it. Share screen. Yeah, I don't know that I can because it's just a PDF. So womp womp. Anyway, that's that. I could screenshot it, but I guess it doesn't really matter, right? Oh, you'll get the idea. Okay. This image share. It's almost like we almost sometimes. Main shot. Is this it? Yes. How'd I do? So y'all can see. Truck was number 2. We were number 1. After the incident, when we pulled over, he told Jessica that he realized he was not going to be able to make that left turn. So he was going straight. I knew I wasn't going to be able to do that. I knew I wouldn't make that turn. So he was just going to go straight. So that's what happened. Just going to go straight. We obviously were not going to go straight. So here we are. That was that. Does that help? Okay. That's all. That's the story of how I lost my car. Bye-bye. Well, you're back. You want to keep talking? What it came out? Yeah. Open it in the browser. Yeah, I know. I could. I have a lot of things open over there that I don't want to jeopardize. Toothbrushes. Jess might be I don't know what that means. Is it true Courtney was fired? Burner accounts. So these people are all on rewatches. Yeah, so that's that. Not sure what we're gonna do about a new car. I don't know what that means. Like menopause?
Like, first of all, Ed the Fed, get with the program. We discussed this already. I've already been through menopause. It's because I had a hysterectomy, and like we've already talked about that. Who is that?
I'm not sure. I don't know if Melanie's still in here. I haven't seen her in a while. I feel like everybody went to the other.
You know why I'm so like the way that I am right now? I'm super emotional because I feel like absolute. My issue is that like the stuff of this past week is weighing on me a lot. And it makes me like second guess even being in this realm, in this arena. Like it's really getting to me. It really is. It bothers me. I don't trust anybody. Now I'm starting to feel like, it took me years to kind of like trust people and barely trust people. And now I feel like I can't trust people again. And I was duped and I'm stupid and I shouldn't have you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like just, I mean, I can't get my head out of it. Like maybe being here wasn't the right thing, but I have an obligation to do a show. I feel like we probably should do another show tomorrow just to give everybody a better show or something like that. Like I can't explain it, but like I can't even see that like somebody saying like I had the best father. I wish. I wish. So now I'm in my head and I've explained like it's been really getting to me lately. I've been lamenting and thinking about the stuff with my stepfather a lot. It's I don't know, it's crazy. And I'm so involved with my kids and like their lives and they're all doing so great and I'm so happy, but like parenting them the way that I do is like it's a lot. And I'm not saying I give more than everybody else, but like because of like the deficit I had when it came to like support and love and all of those things, like I make up for it in spades with my kids. And so it's a lot, you know what I mean? So, I don't know, I think it's because my kids are older right now, and they're all, like, doing their things, and I'm watching them do things that I could never do. So, I'd be weird if I didn't say, lately, my daughter is buying a house, and there's so many people around her to help her buy her home, and then we went and looked at her dress, and she has such a great group of people around her, and we've cultivated, like, this really great life for her full of support and people, and I didn't have those things. And then I look at my son Jack and he didn't want to go away to college, but he wanted to go to college and we got him there. You know what I mean? And it's like starting his day right, encouraging him. Like I never miss a day to do that. Like, but also like watching my son become a man and then watching my youngest daughter, she has a boyfriend and we took him to a concert and I'm sitting in the car for 3 hours by myself so she can go and have like this great space. Like I the blueprint on how I was raised is the blueprint on how to not raise my kids. And so I'm super sensitive to a lot of things. I'm also a bitch and a badass and I like to out people who are doing bad shit and corruption and all this politics stuff. And if I could tell you how many people message me with stories, can you do this? Can you do that? Oh my God, do you guys want to talk about, the guy that showed up at the businesses that like was trying to get my businesses, the sponsors to give me stuff. He showed up at court and was like going at me and Aiden and saying I wasn't a good person. It was crazy. Um, and so anyway, I'm trying to like find every time Erin puts herself on the screen, she goes like that, like she's gonna get out of it. I don't this it's in politics too. Like I don't understand how people can lie and be so dirty and lie and go after people and attack people and hurt them and like then walk around like a regular actual normal functioning member of society. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't the the shit about Tina has me shook because there's Erin and there's like my mom group, but like outside of that, Tina and Courtney were the people that I could trust. And I let them in. And I also was excited for myself to have like these two people that were knowledgeable with law and help with cases. And like I was excited to have that friendship separate from everything else. And now I'm sad that I don't have it anymore. But that's like only in this moment because the rest of the time I'm like, fuck the both of them. I'm never going to talk to either one of you again. Tina actually saying, like, I understand if you don't want to be friends with me anymore is probably one of the most deranged things I've ever seen. Because what the fuck would ever make me think that I would be friends with you? First of all, that would ultimately dissolve my friendship with Aiden. And even if my friendship with Aiden dissolved, my professional relationship with Aiden should remain intact. And I would never I I can't talk to you anymore. And also like it makes me upset that that happened. And so it's been a week. It's been a week. and I've been distracted, and I have so many different stories that people are asking me to cover. I can't get anything substantial out on any of them. It's like I'm touching each one of them and adding a little bit, and I'm looking into something here and looking, and then I don't get anything. I ended the week with nothing. Did I even release a story this week? I ended up with nothing. I had nothing. I did the questions with Short Sleeve and Keneally. Yes. But I feel like I'm not really doing anything. Does that make sense? You know? I like, what is this? After ruling on consumer protection violations, Blue Hub digs its heels. Um, so this is, somebody sent me this. We'll write about this and we'll talk about this. But the Blue Hub Capital story. Somebody was saying something like, "Oh, you don't do anything." I was like, I have I have a target right now, and it's Carol Fiola. She's state rep, and her husband, and what that means to the area where I live. Also, in case you didn't know, um, so Boomer Amaral is running for mayor of Fall River, and he did very well in the primary. He's moving on, and I was not really attached to the Fall River stuff, kind of letting them do their thing. But I think it's very important that I help and encourage other people to help him and get him over the threshold of a win. And the reason for that is every other city and town around us is red and Republican, and Fall River's voters voted for Trump. And so it makes sense that they have a Republican veteran mayor who served. And I think that's important. And I think that has also been a focus of mine this week as well. So, because I want to be able to say, like, look at this area, look what we did, and look at my queen to go to your new master sweatshirt. Don't do that. Don't do that. Thank you. Um, so that's that. Also, I have a question. No, we talked about this long before the Wilburn. I'm not saying it's the same type of thing. Actually, Brian LTL copied me because I told him verbally on the phone that I was going to do like a studio event where people came in, and then he did it. And it sucked. So I like all of the women that were there or whatever. The people were great. And I think that that was great for them. But with that being said, can we do something together as a group? I feel like can we do something as a group? Like if I said, let's all go to a bar location, like say we did Barrett's Ale House, and all of the besties came and we all just went out. Would all the besties go? Like for like a night out? Like I don't want to talk, and I don't want them to pay for anything. But like if we said like on this date, we're all gonna go to this place. Oh my God, Erin's saying if we all go bowling, a Coyote Ugly night. I've never seen that movie. Like, what could we do? We need to do something. And I'm thinking it's got to be in like Taunton area, because that's kind of like what? I cannot roller skate. Yeah. So what should we do? I feel like we need an event. I feel like we need to do it in first week of October, right after Halloween, and we all just need to go somewhere. And somebody said axe throwing. That's right near us. Paint night. Can't do it. Top golf. I can't swing. I suck. These are good ideas. I like this, but do we need to have an activity in either even to do it? Like, is the activity not just drinking sangrias together? Like, what could we do? Bowling, gun range. Definitely not roller skating, Megan. I'm not into that. No. Well, I mean,
I was saying that's a place where you can go. She said Taunton, there's roller skating rink in Taunton. So like you can go there and you don't have to like just sit. You know what I mean? You could do stuff. So I also said bowling. I hate bowling, but like bowling, you can sit, there's a bar, there's food. You know, people can bowl if they want to bowl. Derby hat party. So what do we do? Do we go to a restaurant, go to a bar? A cruise? Okay, Besties Bash on a cruise. What about that? Like what about like the little like dinner cruises? You know what I mean? Like the what was, like the big, like what was the little boat? Ew.
karaoke. Cisco. Love Cisco. We need a thing, and I'm thinking it's got to be October the first week of November, just before we get into Thanksgiving, or it could be the night. Oh, it can't be the night before Thanksgiving because I do trail walk. That sounds like exercise. A booze cruise. Where do they do those? Do they do those up in Boston? Wait, they do that.
I don't know,
I have
Stacy.
paranoia about
Stacy
boats. Does it
face.
leave? Does it leave the port?
Yes, it'll leave the port and it'll like chug around. Stacy face. What do we got for
Nope.
options?
Nope. If it stays in one spot, I'm good. But if it moves, we can't do it. I just want to get all the besties together. We could do something. We could do an award. Do you have an arcade? We do in New Bedford. We have an arcade. Yes. Yes. Booze cruises are ending now. Good, for the best. Not in November. Jamie, I did an hour. I'm not going on a boat. At the Fed, why should I even take any advice from you? You weren't being nice to me. But I left you here. I love the vibe of a casino. You have no idea. It's so fun. Speaking of Jeff, I should tell him to. Jeff drives me here and takes the car, and who knows what he's doing, and then he has to come back and get me. Play arcade is a good thing, but that's a little too far south. There's a lot of besties from somewhere else. We need to go up that way. So anyway, that's what I'm thinking about doing. Oh, they did. I think. Yes, I think they did open one in Taunton. That might be it. That might be it. All right, that's what I'm thinking. Plain Ridge Casino used to have a Barstool sports book, and then it changed, and it was in COVID, and then they shut it down, and it never really opened. But that would have been on brand for me. I've never been to Salem. Hi, Maureen. I've never been to Salem. Never been. Casino in Plainville is right off of 495. That might be fun. Ideally, I would like you all to come down to Newport. Newport is my favorite. I know every nook and cranny of Newport, and it's so great. It's also really great in the off season. All right. Contenders are the casino in Plainville and also the Play Arcade in Taunton. And I'm thinking the first week of November. So I'm going to put up a post about it and see if people would want to do it. Plain Ridge has ESPN Bet and the food is good. Stacy Face said that. They do. I don't know. I haven't been there. I love Newport. Anyway, we do trust Stacy Face. Salem is too far for me too. I've never been to a casino. I am on the Cape. Styling. So anyway, I'm thinking we would do it. I'm thinking it would have to be a Saturday, and it would be like just whatever besties could come. You don't have to pay for anything. We all just get together and see each other and meet face to face. I think that would be really good for the community that I'm trying to build and carve out space for me. Can I be done for today? I would like to be done. Donnie, if we go to a strip club, it's Cadillac Lounge in Providence, and I swear it would be the absolute time of your life. We would have so much fun. All right. Let me be free. I'm not giving the besties my best, and so we can't. This is like torture for them. Jess, your hair is gorgeous. Sphinx. Sphinx. I think that's the thing I'm trying to do here is like so many things are bothering me and making me upset and sad. I need to go and like I need to go do the things that make me feel better. I got floors to wash. Peace out, TT. I don't know if that's really Karen Reed. If it is, hi. I don't. Erin wants to know if anybody knows if that's really Karen. We got some new members. Donnie gifted 1 membership. Thank you. Maureen is a new member. Hi, Maureen. Agent Donald became a YouTube. Thank you. Tons of fun 911 became a YouTube member. I also have a homework assignment for you guys before we go. Loving the cease and desist sweatshirt. Did they want true to size? So this is an extra large and it's cropped. And it's just because I've got high black leggings on. And so it's just kind of like it's very generous. This one is thin and it's super soft on the inside. It's not like a heavy like champion style sweatshirt. It's just thin and it's perfect for right now. I'm obsessed with it. I love it. I'm gonna have a homework assignment for you. Are we done with all of the chit chat things? More crop sweaters, Erin. Crop looks good on me. Yeah, I'm the only one that made the crop. Crop looks good for me. Male strip joint in Stoughton. Oh my god.
I don't do the crop things. I need the long things. I need to be covered. I need to be big and baggy. So she made that. We can make anything though. So I know Melanie was in here earlier. She was asking about the zip up hoodie. I was trying, but they were like $55 at cost. Never mind when you start doing things. So like to sell them, we would have to sell them. They'd have to be expensive. And I just don't know what our like demo is. I mean, I could make stuff, the nice stuff that I like that I would buy, but I don't want to like, you know what I mean? I don't know. Do we make things I don't know. For anybody?
Also, I should mention, that light in the background wall, I'll drop the Amazon link. That is amazing. It changes different colors. It plugs in like a USB and it's magnetic and that thing just comes right out. And I love it. Shout out to Erin's ex, Matt, who hung it for me. I was just going to say, we didn't make a lot of money on the Charlie Kirk sweatshirts overall.
I don't want to clarify that. It's not that making money, but we didn't upcharge those a lot either. I mean, I was conflicted with myself with that. You know what I mean? Like we could have collected more on each to be able to donate more, but like that wasn't the point. We wanted people to, you wanted people to have the sweatshirt. So there was only like $4 or $5.
It was $3.90 per sweatshirt.
For most, I mean, some of the bigger ones that were like more expensive. But yeah, there was not a lot of money being made on those.
We're not making the money anyway. As soon as all of those accounts settle and everything finishes, then we're going to take those and make a donation to our local veterans agency. We got these sweatshirts at bestieheadquarters.com. And it's our merch store and we have Erin runs it and it's amazing.
Okay, noted on this one. Yeah, I mean, if you guys let me know in the chat, just I'll go back to this after. Which one? Just Machado show in the crowd. So listen, I don't know that you can put screenshots in here. I'm not sure. You know, we have the email. Let's Amy's thing is still running. Hold on, let me take this off real quick. I'm gonna put this. I don't know if it's easier. Screenshot it, send me your ideas, what you guys want. You're the ones that are gonna be buying it. Like we don't have to upfront this stuff, you know, so we don't have to spend millions of dollars. So just give me some ideas and I'll try my best to zip up anything. I tried to do the zip up one. But the colors were really dark and limited. You know, going back and forth. So
Patriots, boo!
Get out of town.
I want a white crop Just Machado one too, so we'll add one. All right, so here's a homework assignment for anybody, and then we can. This is. I will hate this has gone on this long because I'm mentally not here. Homework assignment. I am doing some research on a story, and it is going to require a lot of like checking on things. And so if you want to, in your downtime, do some research, I will add you as a footnote if you'd like, or whatever name you give to the story when I write it. I don't want to say it because I don't want people to know I'm working on it. It's very simple research once I explain it. So if it's something that you want to do, you can message me at we'll put the email. You can message me. And then what I'll do is I'll do a one night little Zoom or something to explain to you what I'm looking for and then teach you how to do it. And that's it. It's nothing crazy. It's just showing you how to go to a website, how to find some data, and then get a couple of pieces of data. You don't have to calculate anything. You don't have to do anything. It's literally, I need some information, and it can be all done online. So you're going to be going to a major website that has data, and then I'm going to give you one, not a company, but we'll say a company, and you're going to type that name in, and then you're going to go to one tab and you're going to look for a thing, and then you're going to scroll through 2 years worth of data, same number for each one. And then you're going to go to another tab and you're going to do that same next thing, and you're going to do 2 years of data, and that's it. And then I'm going to make a Excel sheet, and if you're doing 10 different ones, you're going to plug that in, and then and it relates to the migrant crisis. And so if it's not something you're into or you want to do, then that's okay. But there's so much data. I started doing it the other day, and I realized, I was like, I should just task the besties with this. I best they would want to do it. So if it's something you would want to do, my email is there, the Jess Machado Show. Message that, and I will do a Zoom probably in this week, an hour. If you only knew how good Lauren was, if you only knew. So yeah, and then just put it all together, and then it will help me be able to show a pattern of things that have happened since Massachusetts has taken on 25,000-30,000 migrants. And so that's the goal. And I think it's very important to share that information. And just so you know, fun fact, this is data that in another way I asked for from the state, and they are saying that it doesn't exist. And I thought of another way to get it through another agency's database. And I ran it by someone, and they were like, so smart. And so, but it takes some work. So I know some besties will want to jump in and help. And I'll footnote you at the bottom and say contributions to this article have been made by that. That's also things. When things are out of control and I feel like I can't handle things, I control what I can control. We can do work. We can do research. We can do all of the things. Okay? Sorry, this was a total shit show. This was a very emotional, weird show. It wasn't even really that emotional. We didn't even get into half of the stuff. I'm sorry about the stuff with this burner account. I'm sorry about talking about it if you thought it wasn't something we needed to talk to, but I would suspect this is the first and last time I will talk about it. I feel like I did my part. I've said it, cleared the air, got ahead of some things. Some people may interpret it in a certain way. I can promise you I do not care. Thanks for having us today, Jess. Thank you for being here, besties. I love you all too. I'm going to read these comments after I'm done, and that's it. Thanks, besties. I hope you have a really, really, really great Saturday.